Hey, everybody. Welcome to Murder Knits. No, listen to me. Listen. Welcome to Midnight.
Tabitha's hostile
It's
takeover.
okay. It could be murder knits. It could be.
Talking about that shawl too much. Welcome to Knit Night. My name is
That's
Therese,
right.
and I am joined by my pal Liz of Liz Clothier Designs and Joe Bob from Tomorrowland. We also have Tabitha from the actual Murder Knits, not the fake one. We have Tara from Yarn Chicken and Shit. We have Neil from Block Magazine. We have, who do we have? We have Amy from Two Sisters and Some Yarn and Let Them Live. Amy. We have Ann Pinkova, the delightful Ann Pinkova from Politically Incorrect Knitters.
Amy looks like she's
There.
dressed for the movie Dune.
Every time I'm on with Tara, I gotta do the babushka thing.
Yeah, except
go.
I'm not doing it.
Who's that guy in the middle with his Burt's Bees chapstick?
That's
So,
Let's not go there again.
sitting on his bandana.
yeah, so I would like
You're not
to,
giving them any marketing favors, Neil.
I would like to not die, so I'm gonna take these off. So Joe, if you could count with me in Australian math, this is one murder knit shawl variation. This is
Wow.
I didn't know we
another
were
murder
bringing
knit
all
shawl.
of them.
Two.
That's
15.
another murder knit shawl.
93.
That's another one.
57.
And the latest one with Who Done It yarn. That's Holly of Mystery
Nice.
Mouse's Who Done It yarn.
275
So,
knit shawls around the world.
and that's just the ones I have. So you could do it, Joe.
Joe's found a house. Whose
Can do
house
it.
are you sitting in?
We've
Not
been
unhomed
She's
anymore.
in the
She's not-
shelter.
unhoused. She's not unhoused anymore.
No. She's just not in her mobile office, that's all.
Look at I've got my comfy pillows here, like Amy.
In the
I'm
bed.
in a motel, peoples.
I was going to say it's very minimalist. I didn't expect you to live in a minimalist home.
I don't. I live in clutter and yarn. It's very clean and pristine here at the motel, yes. Not unlike my tin shed. Hello,
How's the weather?
everybody.
Is it still raining, Joe?
Okay, so I got soaked to the bone. My other clothing is hanging up in the bathroom, trying to dry off. Why is it when I book a motel at the beach, it pisses down with rain? Absolutely poured this morning. And I had to take the kid to her university campus. We had a 1 hour block, found a car park. We got in early, thank goodness. Found a car space, had to walk past numerous buildings to get to hers. No, actually only two others. And carry all her gear up two little flights of stairs to move her into university campus. Oh my gosh. And you know what? As soon as we finished, the rain stopped.
Of course.
Of course
So
it
I got
did.
I got a
Russell.
question for you, Joe Bob. Those
Yes.
pictures you sent us of the drop bears, was that on campus?
Yeah, that's on campus. There's drop bears
Wow.
everywhere on campus. This place is absolutely well known for it. There's lots of drop bear clinics for injured drop bears, breeding programs. This is the spot. So it's a lovely spot on the coast. Neil, I drove 7 hours, Neil, to get here.
What?
Yeah, it's only supposed to be about 5.5 hours, but I'm an old lady and I drive like one, and I have to stop at Macca's on the way and a toilet pit stop. So 7 hours later, we got here. So we did a 7 hour trip in one hit. and spending a couple of days for orientation week. She's just moved everything in, and I will go home tomorrow and drive those 7 hours home by myself tomorrow.
That's 6 hours and 45 minutes longer than Neil drives in England somewhere.
Well, I'm just thinking, you're clearly never going to
Just
see her
trip
again,
back.
are you? That's
I
the like you.
I said to Charlie on the way up, I'm going, Neil would never drive this far. And she was going, oh, Neil's a hoot. Neil's so funny. I said, but if you were Neil's kid, he would never drive this far.
Have you seen what Tomsky's just said?
I know.
But
Oh,
But it did-
Lord. He said it's a 45-minute journey, but you had trouble looking over the steering wheel.
No, what it is that she wasn't in a car. She was sat in a room like she is now. So she was just sat there thinking she was driving.
Well, if she had had a murder niche all over her head, she wouldn't have gotten as wet.
Oh,
That's
right.
Right, Amy?
You tell her.
exactly.
Tell her.
I'll tell you, it was
That's
funny
right.
because when it was
7.5
raining this
hours,
morning,
that's
I'm
about
saying to
me
her,
to
don't
Morgan.
worry. When I come back, we'll go to the beach one weekend. She's going, you're coming back? When are you going to drive all this way? I said, oh, I'll come back. We'll go to the beach.
What's
I
that,
keep
Ian?
paying for this accommodation and never getting sunburnt. What's going on?
Just not much. How is everybody else this week?
Yeah.
Luckily, Tabitha's off today because there's no school, so we had her here and Tara and
Mhm.
everybody else. And
Mhm.
Wow. Y'all got the day off work?
Good
That's
stuff.
crazy.
Hang on, I need some
No.
Yeah, some of us have the day off.
Yeah, what's Neil up to? I feel like I already went to university watching his podcast last time.
Oh,
I've got the full education. Oh my
I'm-
goodness.
I'm
what,
glad I
what
listened to that
university
one
would
on
that?
headphones.
What university would that be, Joe?
Well,
That's the
put it this way, she's
university.
opening an OnlyFans next week, so she's learned everything she needs to.
Here I am in my OnlyFans location. Oh my
her
gosh.
car.
And I'm so glad you gave plenty of warnings and plenty of time for people to remove little ones from the room, or even, just anybody who might be offended to turn
Is
the
it long
volume
enough,
off. if
though?
it's what.
The best was
it was-
Tabitha's reactions.
Oh, I couldn't stop laughing.
She made me lose it a couple times.
Me too.
I am so proud of myself that I was on fire that day, especially with my you need that to loosen up, relax. That was murder knits in top form. And then I was mortified that I said it.
Only
Wait
for
till
a
your
little
pastor
while.
watches that episode. Ooh.
Yeah. The comment, I learned a lot. I learned about amyl nitrates and body functions that I never knew about. So I'm very grateful to you for unpacking that whole illustration.
Still don't know what any of it has to do with knitting, though.
No.
no.
Well, that's
But-
it. Nothing. That was the mad thing about it, wasn't it?
Right, that's Teresa's point. Nobody was knitting.
Yeah.
It was knitting.
No yarn.
Nope.
There wasn't
They
even
weren't
like
even
yarn
wearing any-
ball,
There wasn't even like a
Close.
right.
Yeah.
not even
You
a
could at least put a
pattern.
stitch marker or something. No,
Right.
nothing.
Nothing on the table had to do with knitting.
I couldn't even knit while we were listening because I kept putting down my knitting to cover my face, and I was so horrified. And I'm going, oh, and then I saw Tabitha
Baby.
laughing. And when Tabitha had her hand over her face, and then I kept laughing. So the whole time I'm going, ha, ha, ha.
Maybe the you know what plug was actually a darning mushroom. So maybe there was a bit of cracking in
Oh,
there.
okay.
That's very interesting.
Well,
No. Just no.
as gross as it was,
No.
hopefully people who had no clue what they were looking at now know exactly what Ravelry was posting. You know,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I hope Emma got to see it, and now I want her to, say whether she still thinks our Anne here, and DK are homophobic.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
it's like, just because they didn't approve of it, she labelled them bigots, and I think that's really out of order.
It's
So
like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm bigoted. My opinion is, look, if you want to go out there and draw weird cartoons, put it on your own website and have your weird cartoon website. Put it so everyone knows,
Right.
and that the people who want that sort of thing can go there. And hopefully not children, but have it in your own space. It has nothing to do with knitting at all.
Right. Which I still
Exactly.
say the worst. I still say the worst part of that entire graphic was that the family on the Zoom.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yep, for
I'm
sure.
sorry.
Kids, no.
There's a little kid watching this guy with a ball gag and a dominatrix outfit on. No.
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I haven't ever been on Zoom that was like that. Don't
I
intend to.
mean, y'all need to step it up.
Like, well, won't ask you on
Yes,
next week.
Amy. I was very shocked at what you knew.
I can't believe you didn't know that was a booty
The
call.
extra bits.
Yeah.
He's like, "What's the cell phone message mean?" I'm like, "It's a booty call."
I was like,
Oh.
oh, what's one of them?
And Tomsky says he's offended.
So
Get over yourself.
I mean,
Pretty sure
Okay.
yeah, not enough holy water for that cartoon. Yeah, Tomsky, go watch the last block
No.
episode with Tabitha, and then you'll understand.
we apologize
Yeah.
in advance.
Do we though?
Mm-mm.
not as if you haven't been warned.
I'm
Pretty
open to the conversations. I was intrigued and I learned a lot and I was horrified and I laughed my ass off. It was great entertainment.
It was better than cats.
I was shocked at how much there was in it. You know, I really didn't think there was as much there.
Well-
you know, I thought, oh, I felt like
Yeah.
I was stretching a little bit, but then afterwards I realized, no, there was more. There was more in that picture than we even saw. And we just
But
don't
wait,
know what
there's
it is.
more. It's like the OxyClean guy.
I kind of knew some things, but not nearly everything.
Oh, I didn't know any of it.
There
I
was
did
a
not know
lot
the
that I did
handkerchief
not know.
Thing.
Yeah, I didn't know the handkerchief thing. Now I can never listen to Bruce
didn't know that.
Springsteen again. So thank you.
Well,
If you were listening to him already, that's pretty gay.
I know, right?
Well,
Like what?
Which
Not-
handkerchief
not-
did
not-
he wear?
Not in a long time. Dance, Born in the USA album cover. He had a red
Yeah.
handkerchief in his
What colour
back
is it?
pocket. He had a red
Is it
handkerchief in
red?
his back pocket. Yes.
Oh, which pocket?
I don't remember.
Left.
Right?
I think left.
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 Ah,
I
so
don't.
that means.
don't
Oh
ask
no, I
me.
won't say. I won't say what it means.
And my Burt's
Yeah,
Bees,
yeah.
I mean,
No.
gotta change the
First of all,
plastic
no.
now.
It's no, it's not. It's on the right side.
Oh, is it?
Ah,
I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
the right. His right or your right? Hang on,
Mhm.
it gets confusing, doesn't it? Yeah, it'd be both, wouldn't it? Because
Can you see it?
No.
No,
Gay pocket.
Oh,
Chomsky.
see it.
it's not a. It's not a bandana. It's a hat. Oh, it's a
okay.
red hat. Huh?
Much better.
Bet he
What does
regrets
that
that.
Does that mean he's attracted to MAGA?
Definitely not.
Probably not, because he's very much a leftist. But
Well, deep
Yeah.
down inside, some of those women really do want MAGA men.
well, yeah, they just don't want to admit it.
Mm.
All of the smut books they read and write, it's all just a thirst trap for conservative masculine men. That's who the person is. Not that I would know or anything, but it's always the same guy in these awful trash books that people read. And they're always the conservative masculine. Yeah, I don't know who these nasty people are that read these books, but I can tell you what the story is every time.
Or so she's heard.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Oh,
People
Well,
talk.
allegedly.
I want to say thanks to Lynn from Chicken Lady Fibre for showing me the hat number 5 cabled pattern that I asked for. This is the yarn. It's one of those core blown, what is it, merino and baby alpaca and a bit of microfiber. So I'm going to knit the cable hat for the uni kid. I got 2 little 50-gram balls just in case I need them. And she sent me that pattern, which is about Aran weight. So I'm going to start that this week. I like it. It's just beige. But I just want to say, it looks yellow there, but it's beige. Thanks, Lynn, for sending me that pattern. I got it and I've saved it away to print it out one day. And this is my Murder Knit set from Sweet Mountain Crafts.
Hey.
It's not murder knits.
Kind of look,
Wow.
it would look cute as a sock, but I'm doing that something Murder Knits because I've got to join the club. There you go. And I've got my little mini to do as well for a pop of colour. I think it's going to look good. I'm really looking forward to that for this winter. I don't know if I'm going to have it straight or if I'm going to pop a twist in it. Knowing me, it just depends. I might just have it straight. Just depends. I haven't really been knitting on. I balled this up. My cardinal, gee, that's a red. It's like a real cherry tomato red.
Ooh.
I balled that up ready to do a Musselburgh hat.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I like all the colours. I don't want to put them into socks. So it's going to be a Musselburgh hat. And then I've got this one. I have done hardly any knitting. I brought this with me for motel knitting. The Reach for the Stars shawl in the three Irish girls, 3 sisters, good grief. I like the colours. I like the little bit of pooling I got there. I quite like that.
Mm-hmm. Your birds of a feather was gorgeous, Joe.
Oh my goodness. Look, I really wanted to bring it with me to show you all, but there was absolutely zero room in my little car for all the crap that the kid's taking with her. And I even wanted to bring my vest to work on, but there was no room in the car. There was literally no room. So just started on the lacy bits now. There's some eyelet stuff, knit 2 togethers. Yeah. So I like the colours on this. It's going to be really nice. And then when I get back home, I can get crack-a-lacking on my Lock Karen vest again. I just brought little projects that I could squeeze into cavities in the car.
Squeezing
you
it
see
to
them pulled over?
cavities makes a big
Pulled
deal.
over, and the authorities will be looking for drug paraphernalia, and Joe just keeps pulling out little balls of yarn and knitting needles. Oh, wait,
I swear it's not
here
correct.
too.
So all I could do was just to squeeze little bags like this in, that's all I could have room for. And I, even where I put my armrest, I had a bag. I had nowhere. But it's going to be interesting. When I go back, after she spends the next couple of hours unpacking all her bags, I wonder how much is going to be returned to me to take back home because she doesn't actually need it or doesn't have room for it.
Did she have a roommate?
Everything out of her room. Her room's now Millie's room. Jack's now going into Millie's room. So, isn't this cool? Look at this fair isle. Isn't that nice, Neil? With scrap yarn.
The other one first.
Does she have a roommate, Joe, or is she on her own?
No. They all have their own. Oh, well, actually, no, that's not true. There are apartments that have rooms, like 3-bedroom apartments and 2-bedroom. No, she's got a single room on her own. We'll see how she goes. So she's there until she's there. Yeah, she's excited. I think she's more nervous than anything else. But like I said, this week is orientation. So they've got the rest of the week, and then Monday I think they start uni lectures. But she's booked in, like she's locked in until sometime in November in that room on campus. So when she, and they don't let them book in for the 52 weeks of the year for first year students. At the end of November, she actually has to move out or re-sign up for whatever other accommodation, and then she'll be able to have 52 weeks and just leave her stuff there and stay there for the full term of the degree course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I think she's more nervous than anything else right now. But they'll all be having dinner together tonight and, doing all the orientation activities together. So she'll get to meet everybody else in the rooms. It's 3 stories high. That's a ground floor 2 and 3, so 1, 2, and 3. And looking at the accommodation buildings, it looks to be over 1,000 students there on campus living there.
Mm.
There's a lot of accommodation there.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the first.
So,
It's the first time the twins have been apart for so long, right?
yeah. First time. And the first one to leave home is the youngest one, my baby. So that's something unexpected.
She's
What
got
are
a
you all
good head on
knitting
her
on?
shoulders.
Oh, she's a good kid. What are you all knitting on? Will I eat my sushi? Sorry, Anne. I'm having sushi in front of you.
Oh, man.
Well, at least it's not horse.
There's always one.
A baby
Oh.
blanket.
Aw.
The very beginnings of a baby blanket for a baby due in
Oh.
May. I don't think I'm going to make it.
What pattern are you doing?
It's that double. It's just double stockinette. I wanted to try it. So it takes a while.
Oh, double knitting.
Or, well, yeah, double knitting.
Oh, that's going to take you a long time.
I know. I think they're going to get a crochet blanket.
I would
Just
do.
do the edge. I think.
That's true.
Therese, what are you working on?
Right now, I am currently working on, oh boy, this is going to be fun. It's a pocket shawl. It's crocheted pocket shawl. It's very, very long. Very, very, very long.
Oh, those are long rows.
Very long. Yeah, they're long rows. I think it's 200 stitches. So I'm working on that. And the other thing I started was, I'll say this for Neil, a linen stitch shawl.
Oh, yeah, linen.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, that's cute.
It's in Lion Brand, Mandala, whatever. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking about what my next knitting. I just haven't. I think it's going to be the Morticia shawl. When it comes
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Mhm.
Speaking of
Speaking-
which,
Speaking of,
We have our cover girl here, so,
So then I can make
Mhm.
like 5 of those.
well,
right.
I've sent you the
Yeah.
cover, Liz.
Okay.
You can put the cover on the screen if you want.
where did you send it?
Ooh,
I've
pretty.
here
added
it
it.
is.
So
There.
this is the cover for the next issue.
You
And as you
bastard.
can see, Abka's modelling.
Perfect. Puts the whole shawl in there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Talk about blocked. Yeah,
Ooh, big time.
blocked out.
I'm sure she will have words for you on Thursday about that.
Oh, she's getting
Neil
ready.
is a rat bastard. Fuck off out of here.
Yeah, we've got a cover with a shawl, but we still don't have a pattern for it yet.
Who's gonna write it?
Neil needs to write it, doesn't he? Isn't
Yeah,
that how it goes?
get on it,
I don't know how you make it.
Secretary.
Actually, I was thinking about your designing, Neil, because I saw a really cool business name when I was traveling here, and I thought we need to have a competition and come up with a designer business name for you. I mean, who wants to have a Neil James design? That's ordinary.
Wow,
Wow.
My
I
name.
didn't call with your name.
that's a little
I'm
harsh.
inspired. I'm inspired to help you because I just saw a business. I drove past this business and it was called Andy Pandy's Hair Candy. Giving him
And
free
that's an improvement, you
advertising,
say.
free promotion. And I thought, who on earth would want to answer the phone? Andy Pandy's Hair Candy. Obviously, he's a hair colorist. I don't know if he's a hairdresser, but obviously he likes to do all those lovely woke color hairstyles and colors. So I think we should come up with a business design for you, something snappy. Because Neil
Well, I
I have
James,
one.
ordinary.
Remember, I need 2. I need the secret one for the woke people, so I can get them to pay and then the one that we'll all know that won't be.
Well,
No.
Neil's naughty knitting patterns, since all you do is talk about sex. So
Oh,
Mhm.
Nearly Feely's yarn feely. What am I?
Oh God, I love
You should do it.
Mondays.
You should do it's Neil James, bitch, instead of Rick James.
Oh my goodness.
Now
I was
with poppers.
inspired. I was inspired on your behalf. I just can't get that. I will never forget that now. Andy Pandy's hair candy.
So it works, see?
It
The
works.
marketing works.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. BS said she's on it.
Let's do it.
Yikes!
Bloody Neil James. That's what we should call it. Bloody Neil James.
Bloody Neil James.
Yeah, let's come up with it. I'm keen. I'm keen to get all the suggestions and have a think tank out there and come up with Neil's knitwear designing business name.
You don't like literally Knitler?
No, there's something about that.
Golden knit then.
What, even with the swastika logo?
He does like charts, so that is literally Nittler to me. Those
Yes,
charts he
exactly.
comes up with. I need
Oh,
you to
no.
test this
I think I
for
have
me.
to leave.
I need you to test this for me. It's 299 stitches and there's charts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like to
No.
stretch.
No.
I want to stretch everybody.
That's the week I break my fingers.
So, Anne, what are you working on? Are you doing another
I-
block?
Yes, this is square 9 of my new quilt. So hopefully I will have it, and I'm working on.
I have not
Three
tested
out of
past
4.
square one. Sorry.
Amy, get
Nittler.
it together.
Yeah, Nittler. That should just be your name, Neil. Just Nittler.
Just Nittler.
Not Adolf. Or should you have something else at the beginning?
No.
Adolf Nittler.
That's
But anyways, so I have this massive pile of quilt squares. Once I finish this one, I'm going to sew them all together, and then
Mhm.
it's going to look very pretty, and everybody's going to knit it. Everybody.
Wow.
It will. It would look very
Mhm.
pretty.
I think
Except
the
for Amy.
Nittler would work. But since you're a proud Black lesbian woman, you need a first name that reflects that.
Oh,
So maybe like Lawanda Nittler
Kanishwa.
or Nishwa Littler. Yeah, there you go.
Adela.
Nittler.
Bye, Felicia Nittler.
bye, Felicia. Okay. That's a good
And then it could
name.
be bi,
Hey.
like B-I,
Hey.
Felicia.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hey.
Okay.
there you go.
Who had on their
Yeah.
Who had on their 2024 bingo card that Beyonce was going to come out with a country album?
I fucking love it.
Is that what you want to call it? Ugh.
Y'all can hate me. I've been jamming to that song all day while I've been baking cookies.
I haven't heard a
She's-
thing about it, so.
She's just jealous of that Taylor Swift's more popular, so she's
Mm.
trying to.
I love it. I don't care. I love it.
Oh, I haven't heard it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you've got somebody already
Thanks
going
so
to start your
much.
blanket.
Yay!
Yay!
Boo.
Lovely.
I think it's a winner of a pattern, but that's
It is
just
cool. It is cool.
now
very
I have
cool.
to quickly knit the next thing so I can have a photo in time to beat Tabitha for the cover of the Bear Arts. And I got to work
Yeah.
on Liz's thing too. So I'm
At the moment,
just
we've
not
just
used
got
to
empty
designing at
pages.
speed.
Do I have to check the math and all the other squares, though? Because I only checked the math in the first one.
The other squares are like the first. It's fine.
Okay.
Speaking of things you need to knit, Anne, what yellow do you use for your neurotic beading?
I used, I think it was like one of the Knit Picks kettle dyed something.
Okay, because
So I don't even know what it's called. I
I
don't know if
might-
they have it anymore.
I might make a neurotic beanie before I go see Anita in April if I have
Yes.
time. So,
Yeah, do it.
but I
That'd
wasn't
be
sure
cool.
which yellow. So
Yeah.
Speaking of
fingering weight.
celebrities, can you all come and get Taylor Swift back, please? She doesn't need to
Yeah.
be here right now.
Don't worry, her
No.
boyfriend's coming to visit her. You can have the both of them.
Great.
Please keep them.
Oh, good grief.
So I did some shopping from China, as you do,
Yeah.
through Temu, and I got some
Mhm.
mohair, and it's like DK weight mohair.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Ooh.
It was like $13 for 3 balls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's any good, but
Is
And
it
then
real
I got-
mohair? Or is it
They
just
say
cat?
it says it's mohair.
It
And then I got
says
this
It's not
needle
squirrel?
set because no, not that
cat.
I know of. But since
They have
everyone
cat.
was talking about
There's
those
not
fancy forte needles, from Xiaogu that are like $400, $500. I got
Yeah.
this set for $24 from Temu. They're wooden.
Oh.
They're actually not bad. The joints are really nice. But what I like,
Mm.
Joe, you would like them because they have the 2 different needle tips. They have each
Oh.
set has the long and the short
Oh,
for every
that's
size.
nice.
that's
for
what I
every
want to
size.
try.
They have them in aluminum and I think stainless too. But they were
Mhm.
like $24.
And what are they
So-
in?
On
Temu.
Temu.
Aluminum.
Yeah, they have aluminum, aluminium.
Aluminium.
Do a burn
See,
test.
I'd want the
Oh yeah, I
stainless
could
one.
do. I'll do a burn
Mhm.
test of that, Shauna. That's a good idea, but I'm not going to do it on air because I don't want to
Do it now.
light
Come
something on
on.
fire
Burn
in my
down the-
daughter's bedroom.
The fire on
But
knit knife.
yeah, so I figured for $24 I would test them and
Pretty
see how
much
they
the
are.
only
But
thing
the
we
jo-
haven't done.
But
I mean,
hang
the
on, they
case
don't
is-
have a cable small enough for socks, do they? In that set?
this set, the smallest one is.
Be 16. Yeah, it
Take my
won't have
glasses
a
off so I could see.
small enough for socks. That's what I'm
3.0. 3.0 is the smallest.
Oh, the tips, but what about the cable? That's what I meant.
Mm.
Oh, cable, they have short cables.
What, little socky ones? Don't
Yeah,
believe
like
you.
that.
Get out of here.
How do you even
Huh.
do with that?
I don't know. I guess the short tip helps you.
Yeah, that's what I want to try.
Yeah, you do socks.
Yeah, it came
Short
with like,
tips help a lot of people. Ask Neil.
Christine
Hey, what?
offered last fortnight and she had a look for me, but she
What
didn't
did
have
you
them.
say, Tabitha? Did you say what I think you said?
she said something.
She would know.
I didn't say shit.
This is the only apparently Tabitha that I got.
What?
And here we are,
With that.
How many
But
tips
what's
did you
nice-
get? How many tips?
They're the same. 10 sets from 3 to 6.5. Yeah,
Oh, wow,
from
that's really
3 to
good.
6.5. They had, I mean, they had a plain wood, like a bamboo, I guess, the dark black, and then they had aluminum for $24.
Okay.
So I
That's
thought I would
cheap.
test them and see.
Yeah,
you
let
know.
us know.
They weren't $400 like the Forte ones. And they came with 4 cables and stoppers. So,
It's really
and the
good.
cable, the connections are the same as the Knitter's Pride and Knit Picks connection. So it's the same cable.
Tabitha, something's wrong with Tabitha's eyes. They're leaking. Something about tips. Tabitha, your eyes okay? They're leaking.
Liz isn't going to let me come back ever at night.
Of course we will.
Neil, is
But, yeah.
Tabitha picking on you?
Probably.
Good.
She did for that,
If
that
my mouth
block
open,
cover.
she's picking on me.
What a bully.
I know, I'm awful.
I said it.
Anyways.
But we love you
No.
anyway.
Yeah, I thought y'all were ragging on me when Amy's the one that started this shit, not me. I just finished it.
Well, I came up with an inappropriate name for his business, but I don't know if I should say it on here.
Good.
Say it.
Say it.
The British are coming.
Short tips and all.
The British are coming. Perfect. I won't forget that.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Pinkova, we're sorry.
Please, please don't watch
It's
the
not
last
even
episode
the
of
third
Block.
weirdest conversation I've heard on the internet
We're
this
very,
week.
very
You're fine.
sorry, Mama Pink. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. That's the
Well,
thing.
I don't want her to not let Anne play with us.
It's like my mom
Well-
will call your mom and we'll see.
Well, my mom's dead, so good luck with that.
So small.
Yeah, we don't need any necromancy going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't that podcast.
No. It's a lot of things, but it's not that.
It's
But yeah.
true.
So that was my find from China, which is probably made by slave labor. But it comes in a nice little padded case.
And may catch on fire.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Little
and
Uyghur
it
shape.
comes in a nice little padded zipper case, so that was nice. So figure I'll try it and see. I didn't even realize the tips were 2 different links when I ordered it, and then I got it. And I'm like,
I
oh,
keep talking about
I
tips.
saw that on there.
sorry.
I purposely
Damn
didn't
it.
look at Tabitha.
Are we gonna have
can't.
banned
You
words on our
cannot.
podcast now? Now we have banned words.
Just a tip.
Just doing nails here.
Just the tip. Is that what you said?
This is not helping our reputation, people.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
At least we don't have things on our websites like inappropriate
Oh.
drawings.
True.
Thanks for
Hey,
filling in for me last week, Neil, when I couldn't make it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, did you notice the ratings went up?
I watched it
Yeah,
twice.
and we've lost 4 viewers in the last 3 minutes, so we should probably move on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, went from 25 to
Sorry.
20.
I bet I know who they are too.
Neil, that's just your
So-
hate watchers.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
Neil, what are you knitting on right now?
yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the same thing I've been knitting on for the last 10 years. I'm doing the second
Cardigan.
You
Although,
sound like Pink. You sound like Pinky in the Brain. The same thing we've been working on. For.
although I've been
Yes.
doing something, you won't even be able to see it because it's in black. But this is Tunisian crochet simple stitch, and it's a Mobius, but a real Mobius, not like the fake ass Mobius that Tabby did.
Ooh, them
So
are
it's
fighting words.
Mathematically correct. So basically, you're working on all sides at the same time.
Oh.
Well, I chose
Fancy.
black. You can't see it.
I like Tunisian crochet.
Joe, that
Me
doesn't count as
too.
a murder knit shawl. Sorry.
It does. It does. It's
Nope.
Murder Knits with a Murder Knits kit. I get double bonus friend points.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So, Tara, what are you doing?
I am working on my Stephen West Yahtzee shawl. I'm on clue 4, so finally getting there. Although I did start something new today. I'm trying to get
Mhm.
ahead on Cheryl's wildflower tea
Mm.
cowl because Lent starts in March and I'm going to be busy. So I started the wildflower tea.
Cool.
Ooh, that's pretty. I like your colors.
Yeah, it's turning out really pretty.
I will have that pattern in the prize packs from Who Done It.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Well, Cheryl's really good at writing her patterns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She has it written out and she has charts.
Yeah. I've knit a few of her
That's good. 'Cause
patterns.
people like me can't do charts, so.
Yeah.
You probably could. You just choose not to, and that's okay.
No. If
Yeah.
it was to read a
Conflict
chart or
interest
save your
for you.
life, you're gonna die. So.
See, I can do knitting charts, but I cannot do a crochet chart to save my life. I mean, maybe if I
know-
actually spent time learning crochet charts, maybe I
Right.
could, but
I
Yeah.
can understand crochet charts, but I don't like them, so I don't use them.
Which
Thinking.
bit don't you understand,
I don't-
though? Is it the symbols or is it the direction?
It's both.
Was
I don't want to remember
the
the symbols, and I don't want to have to go
Mhm.
back and forth.
see, Knitting
How do
charts
you
are
remember
easy
knitting
because there's
symbols?
basically 2 stitches in knitting.
Right.
And so it's easy to read a knitting chart.
Because in the pattern, if it's written, I can read the words, remember the words, and then go back and
But
move
in
a little
crochet,
post.
the symbol looks like the stitch.
That's what it's
No,
just
it
Your
doesn't.
head, not mine.
yeah,
It does.
like
I've
a
looked
You don't like the
trapeze
line?
with lines.
See,
I looked at crochet charts
And
and
the
I'm like, what the
line.
hell is this?
that's how many wraps go round.
It's like I'd
Yeah,
rather
Well,
read about Sumerian cuneiform. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
In what?
yeah, they've got
I
the
think it's just
pictures.
In the
Wait.
crochet charts.
But see, Tara, you're like me. You've crocheted for so long that it's just reading a
Yeah.
pattern
Yeah.
isn't you too.
Yeah.
It's different to have to go back and learn charts later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause
They
I
didn't
learned
have charts when I
charts.
started crocheting. No.
No,
Well, if
they
you
didn't have
started with a
yeah.
granny square chart, you know, a granny square is really easy to do, isn't it? If you see the chart
Mhm.
for a granny square and you already know how to crochet a granny square, you'd be able to follow the chart because the chart looks like the finished crochet object.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I could
It's
also
literally
I
symbol
could also
for
follow
stitch,
the
symbol
words
for
that
stitch.
say 3DC, comma.
Ah, well,
Mhm.
that doesn't look like the finished object, does it?
Yeah, but
does in my head.
crochet's more intuitive too. You don't have once you get it, you don't really have to keep.
True.
If you're doing,
Mhm.
especially if you're doing rounds, after you do like one or two,
Yeah.
one side, you know what to do the next side. So it's
Right.
not like
Ugh.
I like words.
Words. Mhm.
Tabitha. What are you working on?
With the
I
angelic
am working,
view.
yes, my Genesis shawl by Nitty McPurley.
Pretty
Yeah.
color.
It's very similar to the murdered shawl, so.
Oh.
But I have an accusation.
influenced.
Yes.
It is. I could have lied. This might not be a murder knit shawl. This might be a Genesis shawl. I don't know.
No, the Genesis shawl has a cable bottom.
Oh, well, I definitely didn't do that then.
So I have an accusation to show.
Really?
This is the
Ooh.
new
That's pretty.
Tiger King colorway from Lynn. It's Mau Mau, but I think that's
Mal. Isn't that Mal Mal?
Yeah, it's meow meow.
this
Oh,
is Joe Exotic.
just
I renamed it.
culturally appropriated it.
I've taken over this yarn colorway. It was dyed in honor of a cat who died, which is very sweet. However, this is the perfect Carol Baskin color.
It
Perfect.
is.
I think Kristen would think that was funny. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, too late now because I've hijacked it.
I can't wait.
I'm
till
sorry
you
your
get that
cat
out.
died, but we got a bomb ass color out of it. Like, I don't know.
So really, can't say it's a win-win, but it's a
It's
Oh. When
But
it's
I'm going to
lemon
knit a
zest.
sweater, a duster with it, and then I'm going to be on the cover of Blocked magazine for the Cold Hearted
Are
issue.
you?
20.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her a crochet flower crown to go with it,
Oh my
so that she can
So-
totally rock the Carol Baskin look.
You could do
I
it.
think
We
we need to get a
have-
competition going for who gets on the cover of that issue.
I've already given you the cover for the bare arm, so just hush, everybody.
Wow.
Have you?
This is
Yeah,
Pulling me out of my
Tabitha Murdoch.
yard.
Tabitha Murdoch.
Tabitha is the first Knitting World supermodel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I am.
someone
Oh
should
no,
like crochet
Morgan
a
made
ghillie
it
suit
first. Morgan
That's
got there
true.
to be
first.
on the cover. That's
And
that's
Carrie
Yeah.
Yes.
Karen.
Okay.
was Carrie on the cover?
Yeah.
She was.
yeah, she was.
See, so we really just need a Women of Blocked calendar.
There you go.
You're going to need considerably bigger balls. Isn't that the saying?
Bigger balls and small tips.
That bathtub full of yarn shot will be perfect for that calendar, Tabitha.
I was trying to think of how I could do that. Like, But I could just like put my yarn in the bathtub and not be in there, and you guys wouldn't know.
True. I saw a photo of all the yarn on your bed again when you were fluffing your stash the other day, and I dead set turned to the kid and said, "She's full of shit. There's heaps more yarn around her room than what's on that bed."
You would be correct.
I know, because my yarns weren't there. I was looking for the ones that I've chosen, and they weren't there.
I might have taken a picture or two of my kids laying on my bed buried in yarn, but I've
Yeah.
never actually shared them because it's embarrassing.
I had, well, way before the hand dyed accusations, I have this bench that I would keep my acrylic and stuff in. And one time, Eli went and, for whatever reason, they were playing hide and seek. So he took all the yarn out, and that's where he hid. And then he wanted to just leave it and not put it back. I'm like, no. You're going to help me reorganize and put it back. And I mean, I don't know. It's just, a regular bench, like be at the end of your bed. So yes, it was a lot of acrylic, but nothing compared to what I have now. And he was like, Mom, you're never going to use all this before you die. I said, that's your inheritance. He's like, I don't want this.
Well, I think it. So he didn't realize that it would be obvious where he was hiding because all the yarn was out.
Right?
He was like 4.
Thrifty Chickadee thinks the women of Blocked is a good idea, Neil.
Mhm.
So just keep it out
I
there.
think it's a good idea. Yeah.
I don't mean a naughty women of block. It's just
Well, where's the fun in that?
Well, I'm out then.
that's for the extra cost.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
hold
know.
up all my knitting needle tips in my arms.
Oh Lord.
There's that word again.
It's all Amy's fault.
It
I
usually
didn't say
is.
it. I just laughed first, and then because you were thinking it.
No.
And then you guys made us all think it. So. Oh,
Except
BS
for me,
says we
I'm
need the
still
men of
bit-
Blocked.
I don't know what you're on about.
The men of block.
Oh, that's
so,
just
Neil.
going to be me, isn't it? Oh no, and Adam and Pirate, yeah. Speaking of Adam and Pirate, we are planning our next live.
Oh,
So
that'll
don't know when it'll be,
yay.
but it will be soonish. Don't know exactly when though.
That'll be fun.
Cool. That will
With
be fun.
Annie.
Need to check with Annie as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To ask Annie.
Can't do it with that. We
Hopefully-
won't watch unless Annie's on.
Yeah.
Hopefully our Adam's internet will be better this time.
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
we didn't get to
Canada.
frickin' Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, if Annie's watching, let me know if you can come on, Annie.
Yeah. She's gorgeous. She had some ocean themed sweater on the other night. It had scales on it. Eventide, I think it was called. And honestly, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, with her beautiful hair. She reminded me of Ariel, the mermaid. Ariel. She just looked like a mermaid because it was a greeny colour too. It was lovely.
Mhm.
Very pretty. Very
Her
pretty.
oogly cat shawl is turning out quite nice. Neil, I
It is.
promise I'll get back to mine in the summer.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish
It's
yours,
one of
Neil?
my whips that I'm whipping this year.
How big is it actually supposed to be if you were a regular relaxed knitter?
Big.
Ta-
It is
ta-
big.
is-
It's stretched across the width of my settee, which is a 3-seater.
Excuse me, I'm not talking to you with your tighty whitey knitting. I'm talking to Tara, who does regular knitting.
She doesn't need poppers.
Regular people.
There is gauge on the
I'm not
pattern.
sure.
People
I'd
could
have to
do
pull
a
it out.
gauge swatch and match
Oh.
it.
Oh, that's
Couldn't you,
I'm
Tabitha?
sorry. I thought we didn't
What
have.
is that
Wait a
you're
minute.
talking about?
I didn't
Gauge
think we had to
swatch?
do
What the
gauge
hell
in
is
Block
that?
Magazine. I wasn't going to
Mhm.
include gauge the next pattern I submit because I thought the rule was we didn't need gauge anymore.
Who made that rule up?
That's the
Okay.
editor in chief.
She set a
Yeah.
precedent, so I was just going to
Who's the
follow
big
it.
cheese of Blocked? I thought she was going to put her hand up again then.
Well,
Tabitha's
she can.
big.
That's because she controls you, Neil. You know, you're afraid of her.
Exactly. And you're not, and you're not, and you're not.
I measured, Joe. I measured my ugly cat shawl before I had whipped it, or not whipped it, but frogged it, and it was
Yeah.
152 centimeters on
Oh,
the
that's
first
nothing.
part.
Oh, that's big.
For the first part,
Yeah,
What's that in inches?
60. So I was
10
size
centimeters is
inclusive.
4 inches.
yeah.
It was
That
60
one's
inches.
for,
But
That's
when you
something.
knit it, Neil, look at me. When you knit it, you have that first base, and then you go like this, and then you have the other. So if I were to knit it the same size, it would be 120 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not
60,
supposed to be
60.
that big.
You
That's
did the
because of
first
your
section.
loose gauge.
Well, you know.
Well, that's why I defer to Tara, because she's got the right relaxed gauge.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I left it in the middle of a row, which was really dumb.
That's
But,
okay.
Yeah, but hers looks big too. I bet that's 60 inches.
Yeah, it is a big shawl. It's not a little ditty thing. It is a
No,
big
it's-
shawl.
Mm. I'm
Well,
looking
geez,
forward to
maybe I
mine
should
one.
finish this row just so that I don't even know where I'm at.
I
in
bet
this
you,
thing.
I bet you my yarn stash, if she were to lay that out on her bed, it would be 60 inches, Neil.
Who gets
Mm.
happy
Well,
with that?
60. Okay,
please,
which
even if
60
she
inches
lost
this
that bet,
way or
she's
this
not
way?
sending her yarn stash, so it doesn't matter.
Which yarn stash I'd be
It
asking.
is a big shawl. It's not supposed to be a small shawl.
Oh,
Lovely.
it'd probably be 60 inches this way, but not this way.
No, but
the
it-
depth isn't.
The
Because
first
the middle
is 60
section,
inches.
the middle section doesn't have any increases at all. So you've got 4 sections.
Aren't
the
you
only
measuring tip
sections
to
with
tip?
increases are the first and the 4th section.
Yeah.
I'll smack you.
But doesn't it make a half circle? Isn't that the shape of a solid? It's a half circle, so it's 60 inches for one.
No, it's not a true half circle, because the problem with that using that kind of design, which I figured out the answer to, by the way, is you have to do something quite different in the center of the center panels. Otherwise, it keeps growing and growing and growing at the bottom. So the bottom bit is going to be standard width of a shawl that you would recognize. It's just the wingspan is very long.
So what shape? So this is my only complaint about the ugly cat shawl. Well, one of my complaints is that on the directions, there's not a full picture of it open, and like there's no like schematic to see what shape it is. So I was super confused.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
hang on.
was.
BS, are you
when I
still
saw
in
it.
the? Is BS still in the in the comments in the chat? Because
She was a
BS
minute
did
ago.
put the photos in, and I'm sure there is a photo with it fully extended.
Well, I hope
No,
so.
there's not.
So,
yeah.
well, there should be. If there isn't, that. So, BS, was there a picture of the shawl fully extended in issue 5? Do you know?
Oh, I didn't read issue 5. I'm talking about the pattern.
Yeah, which is in issue 5. And the pattern I sent you the other day does have that picture in it.
It does.
It does,
Are you
yeah. 'Cause
sure?
I sent you one the other day, and it has all the pictures in it. And
Yeah, I
so
need to
I
look
think
at
there are
it.
two. There are 2 where it's fully extended. So one is being worn and held out, finger to finger, and then the other one is on the settee.
I need to look at it because I don't remember that.
She
Yeah,
said she thinks
BS
the
is
whole pattern
supporting me
photo is
here.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's just you, Tabitha. You probably didn't
Oh,
read
I
the
didn't-
full pattern.
But didn't
I
she
You
did
probably
not.
test
didn't
it?
even look.
Didn't she test it before it was in the magazine?
Nobody tested.
No, I did, but I don't. So when I first looked at the pattern, Neil, in the first draft that you sent me, which I'm sure is updated, I don't remember seeing a
Well,
full
there's a
photo
whole
of it.
there's the whole sections where there's the what do you call it?
The wedges.
Um,
There's the
Yeah,
wedges,
the schematic of the
But
wedges.
they're not- but they're not all put together.
So you can't figure that bit out. No.
No, I can't figure it out because I'm like, I have to like cut and paste each wedge and tape it. 'Cause I
Shall
can't
see
figure it
if I
out.
can find the picture of it, and we can put it up on the screen, and you can
Go for it.
criticize it. Might take me a while to find. Hold on.
Oh, I'm almost
said-
done with this row, and then I'll hold it up.
Because I'm super confused. So the first,
There is not a full picture. Oh, yes, there is. Wait, there is.
oh, shut up, Liz.
Carry on,
There's
Liz.
not a full schematic though.
Yeah, see?
There you go. Full
Oh.
picture.
That's just that.
Okay, but where on that full picture, you know how your first wedge, your first stripe is the black stripe, correct?
Yep.
Where is
Yeah.
that on that picture? Because that's where I don't see.
Yeah, you can't see it because of the way
Does
it's
that
holding.
go all the way across?
Yeah, but into spikes. Yeah.
So if I were to do that at my gauge and the needle size, it was going to be 120 inches.
But that's because you didn't meet the gauge.
Why? Who does that?
Most ordinary knitters do. That's
Tara did
that's
it.
what you
No,
do
I
when
don't
you
do
knit.
gauge swatches.
Yeah.
Well, you
Are
all
you new?
should.
I'm doing this color work tee.
What's the
And
point of
I
having
didn't do a
gauge
gauge
swatches?
swatch. I'm just gonna
6
try it
stitches
on
per
and
inch.
pretend.
See,
6 stitches per inch.
I
That's a
mean, I would
24
say like
stitch
for a
gauge.
shawl or something, it's like, whatever. Or a blanket, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. If I was doing a garment, I'd be like, okay, this might be a little loose or a little
No.
small. But
I bet that's 60 inches. I know 60 inches when I see it.
No,
60
that's what your
inches
husband's told you.
is a couple inches. Hold on.
I didn't say anything.
That's
I
5
just
feet.
want credit.
That's like my height.
You didn't have to this time.
Stand up, Tara. I bet you. Stand up and hold it up.
I'm like 5'2".
Okay.
Which is almost is a little over 60
Oh,
inches,
no one
right?
wants to see my fat ass. It's probably going to be pretty damn close.
What gauge have you got now? So have you got a ruler? Measure your
She's
gauge.
got the murder knit gauge.
She's got the proper gauge, Joe said.
Mhm.
I have normal gauge, like
But
normal.
what is that?
Like-
But what is normal gauge?
average.
Yeah, but what's the measurement? What is the actual
I don't know, but
measurement?
Joe said that Tara's gauge is flawless every time, and I trust her.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
If
Yeah,
in the-
like I don't do gauge swatches. Like I'm knitting Cheryl's wildflower tee. It's probably going to come out just fine.
okay, but
And
the
if it
picture of
doesn't,
the whole,
I'm not going to blame Cheryl. I'll just blame myself.
the picture of the whole shawl. You're holding it like in one hand and another hand, right? Extended,
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's a really long wingspan unless you're a really short, small human.
120 inch wingspan. Who has
the
120
model-
inch wingspan?
The model who was holding it is over 6 foot tall. So the wingspan
Yeah, that's like my
is
husband.
more than 6 foot. It's a 6 foot wingspan, a bit more than 6 foot.
So Tabitha's right.
Mhm.
What is
It's
the gauge
meant to
supposed
be a
to be
big
on this
shawl.
thing?
But you're telling her she's wrong. that
6
it's
stitches
60
per
inches
inch.
long.
Who said it's wrong? I didn't say. I don't know how wide it is because I don't have it here. But what I'm saying
you-
is it's over 6 foot wide.
Did you
The
never
full
like
width
measure?
is-
You know, because there's no measurements on this pattern. That's what's
Right.
confusing.
Tabitha's point was it was going to be really freaking
Is
long.
this a court case? What is this? Don't knit the
No, we're
fucking
not wearing
pattern,
our
for God's
wigs.
sake.
No.
No, Neil, I have no issues with the big shawl. I like
Oh,
big
wait.
shawls and they cannot lie.
The court has ruled that Tabitha was trying to make a point that this wingspan was really long, and if she'd have kept going, it'd have been a ridiculously long wingspan.
In my
based
defense,
on her-
is that the accuser did not do a gauge swatch.
Correct.
And that's the first rule of knitting in
but
every
unless
knitting
there was a
book
contract.
Well,
going.
but the pattern designer did not put size
Is this
in,
before or
so
after blocking, Neil? Is it 6 stitches per inch before or after
it just
blocking?
says 6 stitches per inch.
After blocking.
Oh, wow.
So that was
Where you at, Tara?
I don't think
I'm
six.
really I'm really bad at doing this because I don't do it.
He
that
used
means she's got stitches per
He
inch.
just
though,
says
doesn't it?
60 grams of fingering weight yarn in a neutral color and 120 in a contrasting color in minis or leftovers. He used opal, uni, 4-ply black, and 12 opal minis.
Okay. I'll have
And it
to
doesn't
get
say what needle.
Before
Four-
blocking,
4
can I
millimeter.
stretch this out to pretend that I'm blocking?
He does suggest that tight knitters or continental knitters might prefer to use a 3.5 or 3.75.
Thank you.
I don't even
I
know
bet
what
you didn't.
size needle I'm
People
using.
knit tighter
No.
than you, Neil. I saw that hat you made. It was a toddler hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using a 3.5.
Okay.
So, Neil, I have a question for you because the amount of yarn that you listed, I went through that amount of yarn and the first like 4 wedges.
Section.
Well, I have no idea why, because I had one ball of opal black and I managed to knit that shawl and a hat with it.
See, I
So
bought
it
a
was
second ball
definitely
because
60
I do not
grams.
believe
It was
it
40
takes just one
grams in the
ball.
hat and 60 grams in the shawl.
No way.
Good
I didn't
God, what is
magic
your
up another
game?
ball from somewhere.
That is a
You
big.
know,
I don't know, but
Is
I
it
think
bulletproof?
I'm just obviously more economical with my yarn.
okay. I think I might get like after blocking, I might get 6 stitches per inch,
Ah,
6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Before
So-
blocking, it's 8.
No
so
extreme.
doesn't it
blocking.
grow when you block it?
I was just to say.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's garter. It's going to grow.
well, it depends what yarn you're using, doesn't it? It's only going to
Yeah, I'm
grow
using
if you're
opal.
using superwash.
Oh, yeah.
So not
Yeah.
all yarn will grow.
I'm using
And even
opal.
if it does, it's a shawl. It's supposed to be big.
You know
That's the
what?
whole
Part
point.
of me's tempted to knit it out of superwash on size like 8, so it's like 20 feet long, just to be like, fuck you guys.
It's
Then
a
she'll
shawl
be
for my
running. Then
fan.
she'll take a picture of
just-
running in the wind with it hanging behind her.
Well, Annie's not far from finishing, and when she's finished, she can show you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
this is-
Annie's is pretty.
And
This
she's
is
a
my
loose knitter. Annie's a loose
first
knitter than me.
skein of opal. Look at how much.
So you're
this
going
is.
to go through that. That's going to be gone
With
with your
just
next black
this one.
section. Yeah.
So I bought a second one, and I'm probably going to need more.
Yeah.
And
Neil.
you're knitting with a smaller gauge.
Tabitha.
Yeah, I'm knitting in a 3. Well, yeah.
I'm a tighter gauge. I mean, sorry.
There you go.
I don't-
BS has answered
it's-
your problems, Tabitha.
I can't see the chat, though. I don't see shit.
She said Tabitha
Yeah,
could
that's
use
why you got the pattern
a
wrong,
US
clearly.
could use a US 3 needle and it would probably be perfect.
I
Wow.
remember what size I was using.
So that sounds like none of this helped Joe at all.
I
No.
was just wondering how big it was. There you go.
You're welcome.
Josie
As
said,
you can
"Screw
see,
y'all."
I have no issues with very large.
Right, right.
Because this one is definitely the diameter is longer than I am tall.
I could go skydiving with my birds of a feather shawl. It's so big.
Tara could go parachuting with that thing.
Yeah.
Well, mohair's strong, so it would probably hold up, you know.
Well, okay. I'm sorry I asked, and I will knit it. I'm really sorry I asked, but I'll find just a giant stash of yarn because obviously I'm not going to have enough with what you've calculated as well, and I will just keep knitting till I run out.
You might
know
have to
what we
find some lace weight yarn and it'll be like a normal size.
This is like we need
With
a
sock
series.
needles.
We need a series called the Knitter's Court. Argue over stuff.
Objection!
Can we put pattern designers on trial? Like put the patterns on trial?
Like Neil from Block Magazine.
Neil,
Tabitha for no
we
gauge.
decided we don't like this shawl pattern. Tabitha, this
Find
No,
And
community
Tarja.
service.
No,
I'm going to be
we
on
have-
I want it.
Patreon after listening to you lot today.
Actually, if you knit my Batman mittens the way that they're written in Blocked magazine, I should be put on trial. I should have watched that thing so much. Like, it's crazy.
I'm gonna knit your Batman mittens into a hat.
Oh, cool. Gotham City on a hat.
Yeah, I just
Allegedly Gotham City, allegedly Batman.
when I allegedly get to it too.
Hmm.
But no, that'll be for my daughter because she loves Batman.
Formerly known as. Y'all look crazy.
There you go. I'm on my last square.
Yes, BS. I
Yay.
agree. Tabitha should be the judge because she could be like Judge Judy.
Tabitha
boy.
was sending people
Like
to jail.
Tabitha with the most
all in
arbitrary
jail.
ruling.
Yeah.
She's like, nope, I decide.
Straight to jail.
Straight to
Bail would
jail.
be a certain number of skeins of yarn you'd have to give up.
It would.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking how much yarn I'm going to need for this shawl because I want all the colors to work. I don't want it to be like hokey pokey, scrappy like Neil's. I want it to look nice. So I'm trying to figure out how much yarn I need to do it right.
I have a
Wow.
Yarn Cafe Creations 12 skein mini set that I think I might knit it in, and then make the main color like gray or
See,
black.
when I did the wedges, it said one mini skein or one opal. Was it one opal mini skein for one wedge, Neil?
Oh yeah, that's total
You-
bullshit.
You got more. You got more than one wedge from a 10-gram mini.
I did
Oh,
not.
No,
It took
I
me.
used like 3.
So in the pattern,
Yeah.
I said one 10-gram mini per wedge, but I knew I'd used more. So if you follow the pattern, you should have some left over from that 10 grams.
Okay.
It took me
No,
3
I-
minis to do one wedge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
we
just
know
started-
why. We know why, because you've got a massive
No.
gauge.
Yes, but you
You know,
said you
that's not
used
my
more.
problem.
Morgan needs to
That's
be
your
here for this
problem.
conversation. I mean, she's knit more of
You
your
need
patterns
to
than
adapt
anybody.
to
She'll give you a fair
your
ruling.
gauge to
Yeah,
the
but you
pattern
said
gauge, not the other
but
way
you said-
around.
You said you used more too, though. So
How many
Why is
viewers
she
have we
wrong for
lost
using
now?
What do you mean I
We
used
gave
more?
a couple
Did I
back.
use
Opal
more
you
off?
just you said you
should
used
use
more than one
less.
mini per wedge.
No,
Yes,
I
you
didn't. I
should
said I
use less.
used less. Did I say more? I meant less. I meant less.
Oh, okay.
So for
Okay.
every wedge, I used 10 grams, and then I got a few more rows of the next wedge as well.
I don't think I'm going to be
Hmm.
knitting this.
I haven't even finished
Well-
the first color wedge.
Don't knit it. Don't knit it.
1, 2.
It will be less of a headache. Now,
Three
if
minis.
Tabitha had done the test knit, which is what Tabitha was supposed to be doing, any issues might have been ironed out early on. But no.
No, we just would have done this 6 months ago.
Objection.
I just started my 4th mini.
Objection.
Objection.
For wedge 1, right?
Yes, I haven't even
Did
finished
you
the
match
first
the
wedge.
gauge of the pattern?
No. She did not.
Well, there you go. If you didn't match
but-
the gauge,
It would be worse if I had met gauge.
Yeah, she
You
did
did.
fewer stitches. So she's using less yarn than she would if she were doing bigger stitches.
I'm so confused.
I'm
I would
Right?
just like to,
Permission to approach the bench, Your Honour.
I would just like to make the objection
Tabitha,
that
Tabitha,
Neil.
if you're a tight knitter, Tabitha, you would use more yarn because of surface area to volume ratio in the fabric itself. If you're a regular knitter, you would use less yarn than Neil. So
where
I
did
think
this
Neil
magic
was-
yarn come from?
What?
Because
I don't know.
I
I'm
bought
using
the yarn
same
from Anna
damn yarn. I'm
Knitter.
using
Anna
opal.
Knitter can confirm what I ordered. I didn't have a secret stash that never ended. I just had
Wow.
a finite amount of yarn, and that's what I use.
Okay, did you use wait. Did you use 10 gram
permission
or
to
20
back
gram
away from the
minis?
bench.
Did I use what?
10 gram or 20 gram minis?
10 grams. They only come in 10 grams, these particular opal.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, I have an objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
Neil, sweetie, my dear.
Amy.
Why would you ask the person that does not do gauge to test knit for you?
Because at the time I didn't know. I didn't know.
He hasn't asked her since then.
Plausible deniability.
Why do you think Morgan is now my test knitter?
plausible
Because
deniability.
she
That's
can't
why
say no.
Morgan is sitting there in the knitting mines, going, I gotta finish all this for Neil.
That's because Morgan's too nice to say no.
It's Morgan's math.
She's
Like a
sitting,
sweatshop.
she's sitting there with her spider in her little room, just knitting.
See, I keep testing it for Tabitha because on my gauge swatch, what's that?
Yeah.
Well, clearly I'm designing wrong because I'm worrying about gauge, and I should just forget about that. and just-
I know. I'm sitting here with this blanket
Right.
trying to figure out, like,
Oh, heck
Don't worry
no,
about
you
it,
can't
Ann.
use that blanket, bad boy. No.
whatever.
No, and the
It'll
beauty of
fit.
that blanket is that you can use any kind of yarn and it'll work. It just makes it bigger or smaller.
exactly.
So
And look, with this pattern, once you know what you're doing, the fudgeability is
Right.
very high. It's fantastic.
and like
You're-
okay,
if
it's
you're
not
going
big
along
enough.
and you're like, actually, my stitches, I don't have enough, you can like smudge it and it's really easy. Like,
That's how I
okay,
made the first one.
you're like,
But like if you use it, you would say, hey, this is what I made it in to make it look like this.
uh-huh.
But if your gauge is apparently tighter than somebody's butthole like Neil, you just tell them to add more squares. If apparently you're knitting whore like Tabitha, they need less squares. So that's all they need to know.
You're back
Perfect.
to this.
know yourself.
So Anne's pattern is genius in that you don't need gauge of any kind. See?
Yeah.
So Liz could just say, well, then give the sweater to somebody bigger if it's too big for you.
There you go.
Screw your gauge. No facts over feelings. Figure it out.
This was a baby sweater, but it's too big, so now I'll give it to a teenager.
I mean, it's
No.
this is why I'm not a designer, because my motto would be, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit.
It's just you look at the sweater pattern gauge. It's like it'll fit somebody. What?
Literally.
Somebody, yeah.
Tabitha, you need to design something with that name. It'll fit.
It'll fit somebody.
It'll fit somebody.
Somebody.
I'll put it in Block magazine.
So I was looking at this like, what? What are these? What?
Oh,
Okay, it's just a grift.
Oh, Neil, do you still hate me?
Still,
Neil's getting on Instagram and he's like, Natalia Grace part 2 cancel.
no, he's gonna get all the mess. Neil, are you okay? Is Tabitha forcing you to be there?
Yeah, I will actually. That is what's going
Blink
to happen.
twice if you want out.
Exactly.
The trouble is now, see, Anne, before we came on, what did I say to you before we came on? Because you said, are you going on knit night tonight? And what did I say?
And you said, oh, I'll show up late and not stay too long.
Yeah. So if I go now, everyone's going to think I'm going because you're all bullying me. But I'd already said beforehand I wasn't going to stay on all the way through. So
Are you feeling bullied though? Because it only counts if you feel you're bullied, not if other
Yeah,
people
well-
perceive you as being bullied.
oh yeah, because intention doesn't matter, does it?
And you really can't
That's
be
right.
bullied anyway. So you can't really say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you're here. Yeah, because you're here voluntarily, so we didn't force you. But I do like your Stephen
BS is
West
asking,
pattern.
it's a cardigan. It's the same cardigan I've been working on forever. So
It is
I
very
love
sweet.
it.
The man boob
Garth
sweater.
Mahalo.
Yes, but you're getting a lot further. So see.
Tabitha, BS wants to know how do you knit sweaters without gauge?
quickly.
Very easily. I cast on the amount needed for my size and I follow the directions.
And open fits.
So, funny story about gauges. I did a
Yeah.
gauge swatch for the Big Limbashi sweater and it grew. The gauge swatch lied.
I did a gauge swatch for that flax sweater, and y'all know how big that thing is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So The sweaters I don't gauge swatch for, like my 2 Swancho sweaters, fit
Mhm.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Gauge
Witchcraft.
swatches lie.
Yeah, it makes sense
do
because
lie.
you used different yarn than what was required for the pattern. You used DK, didn't you?
For the first one, it's written for bulky, but I use DK, and I'm such
Yeah.
a loose lady that it worked out. But then my last one, I used the correct yarn, and it still worked out.
Oh,
Weird.
okay.
It's just weird.
Magic.
So
Wow.
I forgot to say.
but I did swatch for Paisley's communion dress,
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
and that was all over lace. And that one, I had to go down 3 needle sizes
Wow.
for it to work.
Mm.
But do you knit continental or English style?
I'm a picker, whatever that is.
Continental.
Yarn in your left hand.
I don't know. What's this?
Is the yarn in your left hand? Yes. You're continental. Yes. So, but Neil does it. Doesn't he do the Norwegian thing?
No, he does the
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Are you
So
appropriating
maybe
Portuguese?
it's different.
It hurts the wrists.
Maybe
Are
that makes
you
a big
appropriating Portuguese culture, Neil?
Absolutely.
Lord of you.
I'm just curious if like methods make, that big a difference in gauge,
Yeah, they do. Portuguese is very tight. English
Yes.
style is not quite as tight, and continental style is very loose generally.
Right.
Norwegian is very loose as well, generally. Although there are going to be people in the comments saying, "Oh no, I'm a tight knitter and I'm continental and vice versa." There's always
No, I've never tried the Norwegian knit
Yeah.
stitch. I've do the Norwegian
There's a
purl.
Norwegian knit stitch. I just
I
thought there was a
don't know.
Norwegian
That's what I'm
pearl.
asking.
well.
Just
I
If
only
you're
use
a continental knitter, you're going to struggle because you hold your finger up like that, don't you? When you
No, you don't. No,
I
no.
do.
So
I don't.
some people do.
I hold my finger just like that, right
but
by
you
the
knit
right.
you knit Norwegian style, not continental style. If you don't hold your finger up, it's not continental. It's Norwegian.
Well, I learned from Arnie and Carlos, so I guess so.
Yeah, so it's Norwegian. They do
Yeah.
Norwegians.
I do it like that because I crochet
So
first.
so as Tabitha and Amy are knitting now,
I
you
hold
are
my
gonna
yarn with my
struggle.
middle finger.
If you do know what Norwegian style, what will happen is that finger's going to start to rise as you knit. You're just naturally going to do it, and you're going to have to keep pushing your finger back down. So it's
not
it's
really.
just your habit.
No, because when I Norwegian style, I hold on to the fabric with my
Yeah, I do
finger.
too.
It never goes anywhere. My
Well, you're a Norwegian style knitter. That's the thing. You're not a continental style knitter. If you knitted continental style like Tabitha's doing now with a finger up, she's going to find it really difficult to knit with that finger down. It's just her natural muscle memory is going to bring it up.
Well, it sounds very non-inclusive. I say, Liz, if you say you're a continental knitter, you are.
Arnie and
She
Carlos said it's
identified-
more ergonomically correct. So I learned this way, and it's more like how I crochet. So it wasn't a big.
I was about to ask you, how do
Mhm.
you hold your yarn when you crochet? Because mine's
Same.
like, up like
Say
that.
mine's up.
Same exact
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
exact way with my hand yarns like this.
Oh,
That's how I was taught. So
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what
I've
sort of
had-
weird forwarder method
I used to have people tell me I crocheted wrong, which when I crocheted in public because of how I held the hook. But
Oh, yeah. I had
Mm.
lots of people hold the hook different. So
Mhm.
but older people who hold it, the traditional way don't like it when people hold it different ways
oh,
because they tell you you're doing it wrong.
I don't think how I even hold it.
I hold it like a knife and then
Mhm.
just goes in and out. But some people hold it, up where they finagle it around.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I do knife style.
Yeah, I do knife
Too.
style too. That's how
Knife.
I learned.
I hold it like that.
Yeah, your knife style basically.
Oh.
You go in and out.
Knife,
You don't
yeah.
hold it with it. You don't hold it with the hook down and the handle. up
Nobody does it
this.
like shank style. Like this.
That would be murder crochets, not murder knit.
An entirely different show.
Spin off. I just remember when I was learning to crochet first, because I crocheted first, and a friend of mine, the best advice I got was, when you watch the videos, don't worry about how they hold it. Just watch the tip of the. I did not do that on purpose, I swear. The tip of the crochet hook and the yarn, or
the end of the crochet
end of the
hook.
crochet hook, and the yarn, or the end of the needles and the yarn. That's it. Don't worry about how they hold it. Don't worry about how they hold their yarn, because everybody's going to do what feels comfortable to them.
Yeah.
I never knew that this was called Norwegian knitting. I just thought it was a
I
Norwegian
didn't know
pearl
that was.
stitch.
That's why I didn't know it was a thing. That's why I was asking. Because I can Norwegian pearl. So how do you explain
Yeah.
that, Neil?
So can I?
That's
How'd you
that's
explain
the best. That's
I
the
didn't
best
say
for
you
knitting
couldn't.
ribbing.
Could you tell me exactly where I said you couldn't do Norwegian pearl?
You said it would be harder.
No, I didn't. I said it
I
would be
don't know
hard
what
to
you
do the
said. Something about
Norwegian
the
knit.
finger would move.
For the knit, not for the pearl. I didn't mention pearl.
Oh, technicalities. I swear, this guy.
It's almost as if he's been on trial or something.
Well, he is a cherry.
Does
picker,
feel like that,
fellas.
I have to say. Does feel like that.
Oh, you know we love you, Neil. Come on.
He is a cherry picking felon, right? So
Anyway, listen, I have to go, so I'm going to go now. So I shall speak to
Oh
you.
yeah, your timing's suspect there, Neil.
That's what he said.
we love you, Neil.
Bye-bye.
You know we love you.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
Neil.
Oh,
Oops.
dear, you upset my friend Neil. You upset him.
Nah.
Nah, he'll be back.
I'm
On
a
Thursday
thrower.
with
I'm in
Tabitha.
English thrower, Neil. Come back. Come back.
I can't stay much longer either. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So
Well, we'll have to look forward to Thursday with the new episode of Block Magazine with Murder.
Mhm.
yeah. What my time is it again?
9 a.m. Pacific. I don't know what time that is for you, but
11.
11 o'clock, Amy.
11 o'clock. So I'll have
So
to watch
9
it
for
later.
me.
So
I'll make sure I get up to watch it because it's better to watch live.
I know.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
can't.
Though again, last week I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's better
Yeah.
live or not.
I think it's like 4 in the morning for me.
Oh boy.
But
BS
sometimes
says
you're up
he-
at 4 in the morning.
BS
That's
said he had to
all
go
right.
to bed so they can finish the next issue up tomorrow. So okay, Neil.
Mm.
Hopefully he's gonna fix that cover picture.
That was hilarious.
Almost as if he has like a job in putting out this magazine that it
He should
takes
put that- he
work
really should
and
put
it
the-
takes
the-
editing.
He should put the funny one in there somewhere, though, like one of those little like
Mhm.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like first person to find it and message him.
Too funny.
Well, you knew he was going to do something like that, Tabitha, after you told him you were going to be on the cover.
yeah, it's fine.
But to be fair, you always come up with the best pictures. So
Oh, like you.
Yeah.
Well, it was just funny because he was like, make sure you leave enough space for the logo.
Yeah, I know.
So behind the scenes, he was telling her, okay, make sure you do this, this, and this because I need to put the logo here. That's why it's so funny, is he stuck it right on top of her.
I don't think people get Neil and I's humor because we will harp on each other and poke at each other, and people like will message us, "Are you guys okay?" And we're like, "If we didn't do this, we wouldn't be friends." I don't think people realize the type of humor that we have.
Yeah.
that's just how they are. We've
Yeah.
all seen it up close when they're
Mm.
picking at each other.
And apparently Tabitha and I are not allowed to be on lives together.
It's a friendly tip.
Well, at least you weren't going section by section of that drawing and discussing it, so it's all good.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so in my
more
my
science.
defense, I didn't realize we were doing that either.
Really?
I knew we were going over the magazine
Yeah.
and that he was going to talk about it and we were going to go over it, but I was not aware that we were going to go through every single Zoom chat in great detail. I was, oh my God.
I'm wondering how many hours he spent doing research on that,
A lot.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
because his browser history is going to be very
Yeah.
Well, he asked us. I remember us talking about it because I remember I'm the one that told him
Mhm.
the one in the wheelchair was a lady doing sign language. He didn't get it.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, she's doing sign language. He was like, oh, well, that
Mhm.
makes sense. Innocuous. Like, yeah, it wasn't all horrible things, but again, nobody was knitting.
Mm-mm.
But in a way,
no.
I will say, in Neil's defense, it's good that he did that. So, way people can see
Mhm.
how bad this really it was.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's disgusting.
You know, because if normal people like us had just looked at, oh, I see some things, but I don't understand it, they're not
Right.
going to think twice about it. But he's
Mhm.
actually saying, no, this is
Right.
wrong, and this is why.
Right.
Well, yeah, and the next time somebody has an issue with Ravelry, that should be a reminder. They
Oh,
thought
yeah.
this was perfectly okay to put on their front page of their website that children can access.
Right.
Well, I mean, look who we're dealing with here, though.
Well, yeah.
Which I mean, technically, the
So-
argument is you do have to log in. You did have to log into Ravelry before you saw it, but still,
Yeah, but do they ask
How
the
did you
age
sign up
question?
for that?
no,
Mm-mm.
No.
they do not.
Yeah.
And the point is, and yes, Tabitha was right. You should always assume your kids can see whatever it is you're
Mhm.
doing. But again, the greater point is, it would have been 1,000 times better if you took out the really explicit stuff, and everybody of all different shapes and sizes and forms and quadruple relationships, whatever, we're actually sitting there freaking knitting.
Right. It
Yeah,
had
that-
nothing
that-
to do.
Right.
It was like, why is this even here?
Right.
It's so the author could make a point.
Okay,
Well, and they did another one because they
artist,
rotated
I
that
mean.
month. No,
Yeah.
that the person who drew that was all like he, I'm putting all this in there again,
Right.
no knitting.
Mhm.
And that same month they had another one which was all of the different pride flags in crochet squares.
Mhm.
And you'd be
Oh,
like,
I remember
well,
that.
it's like, well, there's some wacky stuff in those pride flags, but it's crochet
But at least
squares.
it's crochet.
Right. There's like a connection at least.
Right. Like, you can disagree with whatever on fundamentally about whatever the things are, but my goodness gracious, if you're going to push your agenda, at least freaking tie it to the
Right.
thing that it's,
To the
you know.
subject. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, goodness, even like Bass Pro Shops have rainbow colored fish flags or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really do. I'm just making-
I don't know because
We're gonna get a
aren't you on
cease
a
and
watch
desist
list
from-
if you go to Bass Pro Shops? Lesbians most affected. They don't deserve it. They just want their plaid shirts.
Well, they can't say anything about Neil going over that because Neil's a self-proclaimed lesbian. So, he's part of the community. So,
Which
But it
again,
is
he
good-
would not have done had what's her face
And-
not decided that
yeah.
Anne and DK were horrible people because they talked about it at the time that it happened.
Yeah, and then they mentioned it after she talked about it on her video.
Right.
Mhm.
Like,
Like,
she brought it back up.
You
into
drudged
the,
up something
sphere.
from months ago. It's not like there was a 10-part series of all the ways that Ravelry is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be that guy. We're not.
Well, it's done, and now I know more than I ever wanted to know about a lot of things, and hopefully they won't do the same kind of thing this year.
Mm,
Oh, they'll come up with something new.
They'll do something, but
They did it into last year. They were pretty tame.
That's what surprised me. They didn't last year, so I'm wondering if they did get a lot of backlash from some of the big.
well, I don't go
designers
obviously
and buyers.
on there as much as I used to, but sometimes I do log into Denise's and look. But over the last 2 years ish, like they don't update. Like it can go months.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't
That
update.
Remember,
that
it used to
page.
be like whatever date and this designer or
Mhm.
whatever date did it, and like every week or every other day there were posts.
Mhm.
It could go
Mhm.
months and months before there's any topic change on that first when you
I'm
log
wondering
in.
how many, if they still are having people working there, or what the deal is.
I have no
Are
idea.
they just keeping it, going? It just seems,
Did-
because, it's weird.
Mhm.
Because you'll log
Did
in.
Well, did Casey lose access to Ravelry before or after that? Okay, remember how he was on Ravelry and there's a big shitstorm of him after the
Yeah.
accessibility thing, and he supposedly lost access.
Oh.
Was that designed before or after?
I think that was after.
Oh,
I can't.
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
was.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But I mean, there'll be like something for like say Halloween, and
Right.
then you'll go on, and it's January, and it's still the Halloween was the
Mhm.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't just make it up. I don't remember, but that's how long it'll be, between things.
Well, I'm sure the Stephen West Yahtzee issue didn't help Ravelry either, since he was kicking people out of his group on there for.
Well, the accessibility thing was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
And it
bad.
still is. It still is that ridiculous graphic thing when you log in that moves around.
I just have my bookmark where it goes right to either my library or patterns or something. It totally bypasses all the.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Here's an echo.
Mine goes right to my designer page.
Oh, there's echo.
Oh no.
Well, I'm gonna have to go get some grub anyway. So.
Yeah, BS said they had the Halloween page after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Interesting.
I made progress. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go find food.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Amy. Thank you for
Amy.
coming on and causing
Thanks,
chaos.
Amy.
Chaos coordinator. Who done it winners will be coming soon. Promise.
Cool.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Joe, you're quiet over there.
Yeah, I'm listening to everybody. Just listening to all the stories.
Now nobody's saying anything.
I know. I know. Because of the echo.
Mm-hmm. Can try to. What are we at? We're in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, we're good.
I can try to leave back.
So, Therese, when you were talking about your future projects, you didn't mention your vest. Are you not doing it now?
I will. At some point. What's that?
You haven't changed your mind. I thought you must have changed your mind.
No, I still want it.
Yeah.
But I see people like, oh, this is such a slog. It's going to take me forever. And I'm just like, oh, do I really want to?
Yeah, it is a slog.
I will. It might be just a very long-term project,
I'll start mine soon.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna do anything for the Mark Schallberg challenge?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
I am.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that, Anne.
Oh, it's okay. It's a pretty chill knit-along.
Might cast on a Stephen West design that I've already got, a pattern that I've already got.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I've got a stash of them to look through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that name. Who came up with the Mark Schallberg challenge?
That was Anne.
Well, no, it was Rebecca, but
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was too. Rebecca came up with the idea, the name. Very cool.
Genius.
She is. So what are you doing? What's the guidelines for the Mark Schulberg?
It's over length, so it's right now. Whips are included, and you knit or crochet a shawl to be done by Easter Monday.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I might grab out some fancy yarn and do one of my Stephen West designs. Seen as a bloke. Do a manly kind of a shawl.
Something manly enough for Marky Mark.
Right.
Yeah, I might get some chocolate coloured yarn out, or some sort of more darker colours, and do a unisex or a more male sort of gendered looking shawl for the blokes. Make one for the blokes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Not that Stephen West would use those colors, but
No, but I was thinking even like a basic one, like who did the Dustland shawl? Did you do one of those trees?
No, I have the pattern, but I haven't done it because the yarn I had is too dark for it.
Oh, see, too dark.
You want to be able to see the pattern.
The pearl bumps. The pearl bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I did
Do you
the
know,
hat.
in the last 2 weeks, I have blocked 5 shawls and that jumper that I did, that sweater that I did. And, biggest mistake ever. You know how I said to you that charity yarn, I would just alternate some of it? Like I had done the whole yoke in a couple of balls and I didn't alternate it. And then I started the alternating after that actual ball of wool ran out. When it was just sitting all knitted up, because the stitches weren't blocked and flat, you couldn't see, like it didn't look like there was any issue with the colours. Now I've blocked it and I can see that one whole block on the yoke is one colour, and then I alternated skeins through the body so it's striped with 2 different burgundies. And then because I had a couple of balls of the same colour, I decided to use them for the bottom of it. So you can just see one block of colour, stripes like a zebra, and then another block of colour at the bottom. So it doesn't look so good after it's been washed and blocked now.
That's a bummer.
Or you can really see it outside in natural light. But when I was knitting it, it looked really even. It didn't look like there was much difference at all. So that was a bit of a bummer. If you're going to alternate skeins, do it all the way throughout. Mm-hmm. And the sleeves too, I did some alternating, and then I finished the sleeves in blocked colours. So, I went to have a look at the blue wool I thought I had, but that's also got different dye lots. So I'm not going to do that again. I'll use that for smaller projects like hats and mittens and things like that. I did not want to do a jumper and alternate skeins again. It's a pain in the neck.
It's a good reminder to remember to do that.
Yeah, because when I was knitting it, I was like, putting them against each other, putting them under the light, having a look to make sure, taking them outside. And because the stitches are rounded, they don't really show up the difference in the colour. Now the stitches are nice and flat and it's been washed and blocked. All I can see is the different burgundy stripes and then the blocked bits. So it kind of does look a bit funky. I will wear it all winter because it's nice and warm, but I wouldn't be gift giving something like that to somebody else because I'd be really paranoid about how you can see the stripes of the alternate colours. So alternating solids, not real good. Because you can really tell the difference between the different shades of burgundy.
You were going to knit that again, though, weren't you?
In blue. And then I went to check the blue yarn, and I've got a couple of different dye lots in the blue.
Never again.
So, I'm not going to do that again. I'll have to find another yarn. So I don't want to alternate everything, including the sleeves and the yoke, with that colour work. I'll just get something in the one dye lot next time. It's really bizarre. Like, it's really horrific to me how much the difference is. And you can see those stripes. You can see the block, then the stripes of burgundy, and then the block again. It's kind of annoying. I'm sure nobody else would notice. It's just me.
Yeah. Well, I kind of ran into that with my Quinn's quilt. Like, it's not a garment, so it's not something you're walking around and wearing. But the different whites, I'm like, oh, I ran out of white yarn. I'll add more. Didn't even think about it.
It looks different, right? Yeah.
It does. I laid it out on natural light. I'm like, no, it doesn't work. It's okay, though. It's only ever in the house. Nobody will know.
That's your use by candlelight or fire by the fire blanket where you can't tell.
It is absolutely perfect in the lighting right now. No one will know.
No one will know. Yeah. It was just weird to see it dried. Like when it was wet, I couldn't tell, but when it was dried on the mats and I picked it up, I could just see the stripes of burgundy, the different shades. I didn't realise when I was alternating it that it actually looked that different, that you could even tell. Now that the stitches are nice and flat, you can tell.
Ninja Boodle said, what if you hold mohair with it? Then you wouldn't have to alternate.
Next time. Yeah, true. That's true. Oh, I don't know. It depends on the mohair too, doesn't it? Because I think it
lots of mohair.
Yeah, but I think the wool, the pure wool, would still show. I think if you had the same mohair, I think it would still show. You'd see different shades of, especially a burgundy, a darker colour underneath, and the blue's a darker blue-grey.
Yeah, but if you had a matching mohair, it would kind of blend it out.
Not really. Don't think so, to be honest with you, because, I mean, you see a lot of the colour, and it's DK. You see a lot of the plain wool. Even when you mix it with mohair, you can see different shades, because I've done like marling by using different wool with the same mohair before, and it really does stand out. You can see the different shades of the background wool. It doesn't hide all the guilty secrets.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll wear it this winter, but I wouldn't want to make the blue one to gift to somebody else that I was going to do. I'll think about it. Oh yeah, maybe I do have enough mohair actually to put with the blue in a. If you use a variegated mohair, not a plain mohair, then I think it would be harder to tell.
That's a pretty sweater, though.
Yeah, it is. It's cute and it fits well for, no gauge swatch. Just knitting up. And I knitted in DK, and I think it's supposed to be Aran, a heavier weight with the Nora yarn. So it turned out really well. Oh, you know what I did learn though? You know the Walk in the Woods mosaic shawl that I did in fluorescent yellow and grey? And I knit the garter first in the yellow, and then I said to everybody, oh, it tells you to go up a whole needle size, like 2 sizes. I think it goes up from a 4 to like a 5 or something ridiculous like that. And I didn't do it because it made the mosaic so loosey-goosey. And I thought, well, my colourwork stranding is really relaxed anyway. I have no issue with it being tighter than the garter. And there wasn't until I went to block it. And when I went to block it, the mosaic didn't stretch like the garter stitch did. The garter stitch just went and was really lovely and relaxed and great stitch definition because it's stocking and garter pearls. But the mosaic was so tight and it would not shape out to the triangle wedge I did. So I did it took me a long time to block it out, and I'm still not happy with it. But yeah, because you're carrying that stitch behind, all of that stocking stitch, it will not block the same as the garter stitch. So if you are knitting that Walk in the Woods shawl, don't make the mistake that I made. Go up the needle size for mosaic knitting, because even though, you know, raw on the needles or bare on the needles, it all looks the same gauge, and it looks really nice, and the stitch definition was really pretty. Once you go to block it, the garter stitch is going to stretch out, and then you're not going to be able to stretch out the triangular middle piece of that shawl, because it just won't stretch out enough to meet the garter stitch slack. So do go up a needle gauge. If I had to knit it again, I would do it with the bigger needle, because come blocking time, it's got to stretch out enough to meet the garter stitch above it. So that was my one thing I learned, my lesson I learned. And, you know, the exploration station, I thought that was a symmetrical, like, crescent. I thought that was going to turn out to be a complete half circle, a semicircle, but mine was longer on one side than the other when I blocked it. So it was, I thought it was supposed to be completely symmetrical.
I don't know
Thought
if
it
any of
was
his are
too.
completely certain.
Well, mine didn't block like that. Mine blocked out to be short and wide at one end, and the other end it sort of came across, and then it flared out and was thinner and longer at the other end. So I don't know what happened. I mean, it's huge. I did mine in DK, and it's like a blanket, but I was a bit bummed because I thought it was going to be a perfect half circle, a semicircle, and mine turned out to be longer at one end than the other. So that was a bit of a bummer. Probably my mistake. If you've made one, let me know how yours turned out. Because mine, I thought with all the way that we're doing the short rows around and all the eyelets, that it would balance itself out to be a complete semicircle, but mine wasn't. What else can I tell you? What else did I block? Oh, I did block. You know, I was fussing about knitting a shawl last year out of crepey wool, because I thought for a shawl it wouldn't block out nicely. It's too bouncy and elastic. But I did one of Stephen West's shawl. I think it was the Sea Swell, and I did it all just in one colour because it's got the chevrons. Sea Swell. It's just got the chevrons at the bottom of it to give it shape. When I blocked it, I was so happy with it. It really looks lovely. And that was crepey wool, not you know, just plied wool. So I'm really surprised how that turned out. And I do have a stash more of crepe wool that I don't want to knit really anything with at the moment, but it makes for some good shawls once it's washed and blocked. What else? You know what I did block too? This is the Joe Bob show. Don't worry, everybody. Just kick back, have your coffee and have a listen. Last year at the Sydney Royal
And she's the
Easter
only one that's not echoing for once.
Yeah, so
at the Sydney Royal Easter Show last year, every year they have a little display in the sheep and the fleece section with some hand spinning, with some spinning wheels there, and some ladies go there. And for the last couple of years, I've gone along and had a look and poked around in their baskets to see what I can buy. And I bought this beautiful merino silk blend, and it's sort of like a limey fluoro green mixed with different colours. And I put it together with the fennel lace. It's almost a lace. It's supposed to be fingering, but it's quite nicely spun, and it's like between a fingering and a lace that I've got from Sweden, from our friend's shop, from the Swedish fibre store. And it looks beautiful. I made the Spring Bloom by Janina Callio from Woollenberry Designs, and that's my prettiest shawl. So that one I'm really, really happy with. And I've actually got enough left to probably make a matching hat, make a beanie. So I'll try and remember to bring them next podcast so I can show you. And I did block the Odyssey shawl by Hahi Locatelli that I did in that thick Clackheaton country wool. I'm not so happy with that. I should have gone up as a needle size so it had more drape. So I wasn't happy really with that one. But the Spring Bloom one, yeah, is really pretty with the hand spun wool. So that's, if anybody has some hand spun wool and they're wondering what shawl they can make, have a look at the Spring Bloom, because it's really well written pattern. It's got garter stitch, with lace throughout and garter stitch and lace throughout, and then a pretty picot bind off at the end. And it turned out really, really lovely. So I'll be looking forward to showing those off to you when I'm back home.
You know, Joe, if you wanted to beat Tabitha for the cover shoot, you could do photo shoots with drop bears.
Oh my goodness, what a shame I don't have anything completed here, so I could run down to the car park and pose with a drop bear. Like, I don't get too close to them, I don't want to upset them, but this place is full of them. How pretty was that guy yesterday? I showed you a little video yesterday.
Yeah.
Very cute. Very cute. Oh, I wonder if I could add it to the Knit Night podcast hashtag or something. Would that come up? No. A video.
You could send it to me and I'll post it on the Instagram.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to Liz so you can see the drop bear that I encountered yesterday. It was only a baby one too. It wasn't a big one. You get much bigger ones. It was only a young drop bear. I'll send that to you. Oh, what else is happening? That's me. I've just been blocking. I've been blocking like a crazy woman because I got a temporary door put on my wool room and put a door weight down, and the cats can't get in. But while I'm away, I've left it open so they can go possum hunting and leave me gifts to return home to. But it was nice to get 5 shawls blocked in the summer. Yeah. So 5 new shawls and a jumper.
Somebody wants to know what crepe wool is. Yarn Motivated wants to know.
Yeah, the crepey wool. You know how it's manufactured wool. So like the larger companies have that crepey. Oh, I'll try and show you on the next podcast. Have I got any here? Actually, I might have some here because I often use it just for provisional cast-ons. Where would I have put it? Let me have a look in my wool bag. I usually carry around a 5-ply. You know, Neil's been talking about the old 5-ply for the Ganseys. Oh, yeah, Tabitha, Neil keeps saying you're going to do these Ganseys, but you're buying the wool from French Penny, which is the Guernsey wool code. I don't understand. Why doesn't he call them Guernseys? Because that's what they are. He's calling them Ganseys, Ganseys. I call them Guernseys because that's where my grandmother was born, in Guernsey. My granny, my nana.
You'll have to take it up with him in knitting court.
Knitting court. I want to know why he's calling it Gangsey. Part of the gang, and yeah, they are really tightly knit. I've got a traditional Guernsey somewhere at home. Hang on, let me just check this bag. I might not have brought it with me. I might have left it at home because I'm not casting on anything. No, I've left it at home, guys. Possibly. Yeah. No, I've left it at home. The crepe wool's like really got a weird twist on it. It's really uniform and rigid. It's not loose like a worsted or just a hand spun twist. It's got a particular pattern on it, the way it's manufactured, the way the twist is done. I'll show you next week. Crepe wool. It's like, yeah, it's not loose and drapey when you knit it on gauge. It's more for garments. So it's not pretty and soft like normally like superwash wool or hand dyed yarns. It's got a definite crease on the ply. So I wasn't expecting it to be so nice and drapey after it was washed and blocked. It was because I did a looser gauge on bigger needles for a shawl. It turned out really nice. So I was very surprised.
Good.
I think if you just Googled something like Peyton's crepe, CREPE. You'd probably find it like an 8-ply or a 5-ply crepe yarn. You'd find pictures of it and you'd see how it's different.
Is it like a ribbon yarn?
No. It's a like a garment yarn. Like it's like this stuff is nice and smooth and has however many plies. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4 ply. This one's got like 4 loose. This one's got like 4 loose plies, and it's a 4-ply wool. That's a true 4-ply wool. Yeah, so this fingering weight yarn's a true 4-ply wool, and it just, is nice and smooth when it's plied together. Crepe has like, because it's manufactured,
rough.
yeah, it's really different. Crepe is different. The way it sits, the way it knits up, if you actually knit it on gauge and not loose, it's quite a rigid, sturdy sort of fabric for jumpers and stuff like that. I'm just wondering, what American yarns do you get in crepe? You would have them at like Hobby Lobby and Joann's and all that sort of stuff, surely.
Probably, but they probably have another word for it.
They have a different name for it.
Maybe.
Sorry, I can't show you. I haven't got any with me. I just use it as waste yarn, but I have got a heap of it, so I should do some shawls with it. On larger needles, it's really nice and drapey.
We haven't had this many people on the podcast in a long time.
No.
Kind of looks like a braided yarn. Is what Knits and Caboodle says.
Like a braided, yeah. It is. It's like more rigid. It's not so nice and soft. It's not something I would normally. Well, when I knit up the shawl with it, I thought it was horrible, and I bundled it in a bag. And it took me months, like 6-7 months, to actually think, I'll block that. While I'm on a blocking roll, I'll actually block that and we'll give it a wash, give it a block. I was really disappointed when I finished it because it was just all spongy and had no drape to it whatsoever. And it would just look horrible. It looked like something you'd make a cushion cover out of from the 1950s. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out with the drape. So washing it just relaxed it so much, which is bizarre to me because the whole process of making wool in a mill, it's washed again, it's dyed, it's washed, and then it's spun, and but the crepe just gives it like a weird pattern on the yarn. Yeah, so it looks more rigid and it's not smooth and flat to knit when it's washed. Wow. So I'm pretty impressed with that.
Rebecca says if you spin, it looks like a cable ply.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's quite rigid. It's
Interesting.
not smooth and flat. It's kind of lumpy. If you look at it up close, it's kind of lumpy wool. Yeah, so Tabs, are you really going to buy some 5-ply and knit yourself a Guernsey?
I'm not sure on the yarn, but I am going to knit one.
Oh, you're going to knit the style with the welts and the pattern on it, so we know which family you come from when you drown.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be really tight. Like the ones, I've got some older books about the islands, like the Channel Islands and their knitting, and they're really quite tight to keep the water out. The gauge is super tight, right up Neil James Alley. It's super tight, it's super rigid, and the necks are just like really small and tight to keep the wind out. I couldn't have them up against my neck, my throat. They have a high neck and then skinny sleeves. Everything's to keep you warm and waterproof.
Right.
Well, this pattern's not a traditional one because it's like a tunic and it's a boat neck.
Oh, then that's not one. Yeah, and they're so tight in the knitting that they have the diamond gusset under the sleeve, so that you can actually move your arms. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that Neil volunteered you were making one of those.
Well, the book I showed him on the podcast is from a traditional Guernsey book.
Yeah, Gansey. I know. I need. I'm sure Neil will research it because he likes to tell me the right way to do things or say things. But I don't know any island called Gansey. I only know Guernsey and Jersey, the two islands that are closer together in the channel. So yeah, I thought I was very surprised. I didn't think you would enjoy all that work on a tight gauge for a tight fitting sweater for yourself. That would be horrible.
Well, I didn't read that far into it either, so.
Okay. Oh, he's brainwashing you.
Okay, here it is. It says Scottish Ganseys were knitted all in one piece, as opposed to Guernsey jumpers, which were produced in separate parts and then stitched together.
Oh, so a Guernsey is Scottish and a Guernsey is Guernesian.
Yeah.
So he's doing a Scottish sweater. Oh,
It says it's Scottish Irish. It says that the Irish word Guernsey means jumper, comes from Guernsey. Just like the English word jumper comes from Jersey.
Yeah. So they're all okay, Jersey and Guernsey.
Yeah.
This sweater is piece. And all the Fair Isle sweaters in the book are all knit in piece, not in the round.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So in the round, also, but Guernseys were knit in the round on those big DPNs.
Yeah.
You know, the long ones. Or maybe just Shetland knitting. One of them just did those long needles. And I know my nan had those needles for our jumpers, for our school jumpers and stuff that she made.
Anne has those needles.
I know, Anne does, because she needs those needles to keep her stitches perfect.
That's right.
And she's going to shove the needle under her armpit and knit.
Yeah, I only used some when I knit that one Batman mitten, and I was really afraid I was going to take an eye out.
Ouch.
Like flipping that around in your hand.
You could slide 4 of those on one needle. 4 at a time.
4 at a time.
That's interesting, the difference between the Scottish Irish to the across the water towards France, the difference in how they assembled the garments. We need to find out what the French were doing, like all around Normandy and on the coast there, what kind of jumpers or what kind of style sweaters they were making then. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the Guernese people had come across the channel from France because it's closer than England.
Call up Miss Happy Rose. Haven't talked to her for a while. She's lovely.
Yeah, you'd have to ask her for me what's the traditional, garment making there. How did they do theirs, in the round, or did they assemble pieces? Speaking of illegal immigrants, did you see Australia, Anne, had 44 new citizens in the last few days who decided to arrive in Western Australia?
Which is crazy because until recently, Australia's immigration has been pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. So obviously they've come in a little fishing boat, or 44 of them, and made it to the beach before they got stopped and packed up and sent to Nauru Island for returning home again. I think they were from India, though, these gentlemen, young Indian men.
Wow.
44 across the border here in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, Canada's letting them in like crazy too.
I know.
That helps a little bit. I mean, we have so many illegal aliens here anyway who just don't get back on a plane and go home again at the end of their tourist visas. But I would have thought coming across to Western Australia, they'd come down from, maybe they'd gone across to Indonesia and then come down on a boat. They're a long way from home, those Indian men.
Yep.
And all men too, by the looks of it.
It's never women and children.
Very rarely.
So that's the only invasion we've had over the last week. Unfortunately, lots of people, because of our bad weather, have had their plane flights to the Swiftie concerts cancelled and delayed. And
Oh
had,
Oh no, that's
Oh,
terrible.
no.
I saw on the news.
The
one
only
person-
way to get to a Swiftie concert is by plane. Private if you can.
That's
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
One lady that they interviewed was saying, "Oh well, they've cancelled my flight. I can't make it. I'll have to sell my ticket." Gets online, resells her ticket, and then the next part of the news broadcast was the airline people coming to say, "Good news, we've got you on another flight." And she just sat there and said, "Well, it's not worth it now, is it? I've just sold my ticket." Poor love.
Crazy.
So there's lots of stress that all these Swifties are going through at the moment. And apparently largest concert ever, like largest attendance concert ever in Melbourne. 90,000 people, something ridiculous like that.
Well, I hope none of them get heat stroke.
No,
Yeah.
no, that was really sad. No, the weather's been horrible. It's raining now, so they'll be fine. Terrible. And what else? Oh, and yeah, a young girl did lose her life driving. So people are driving from one end of the country to the other. They were going down to Melbourne for the concert or just getting ready for the Sydney concert, and unfortunately, a huge car accident happened. So yeah, people are doing the miles at the moment. Because she's not made her concerts available at every major city or of every state. People are either driving or flying to,
Wow.
to get there. So it's far more difficult for people to attend concerts. And
I've never gone more than a couple hours to get to a
No.
concert.
No.
How
Wow.
horrible for the environment.
I know.
No, people are
She-
flying
she-
to other states.
She can just do the halftime show next year at the Super Bowl, and then everybody can watch her do that. And then
Wow. So imagine. I don't know how many months she's touring for. Is she going to other countries?
she was just in Japan and was in
Yeah.
South America before that.
Yeah. So, wow. Good retirement money. I mean, these concerts are massive. Imagine 90,000 people at one concert, one night. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, the tickets are not cheap. They're hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not like the good old days when you spent $30 on a concert ticket and $30 on a t-shirt. Now the t-shirts start at minimum $50 and the tickets are a couple of $100.
Yep.
I saw David Bowie for $15.
Wow.
Wow.
I saw.
And the
I
week
saw
after that, I saw
25.
the Police for $15.
Wow.
I saw Queen for 25.
Yeah. Very cool.
Those were the days.
Yep.
Mhm. No, the cost is astronomical.
Yeah, I saw Queen is selling their music catalog for like 1.2 billion,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
which is more than anyone ever sold one for. Just crazy.
Wow.
All right. I need to go make dinner, so
I need to go eat dinner.
Okay. I'm going to go and see if the kid has unpacked all her belongings.
she's not waiting for you to do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I didn't pack it in the beginning to fit in my car. I'm just the porter who carries the luggage. So go back and find out what she's managed to squeeze into her little dorm room, and then go grocery shopping, and then I can go home tomorrow.
Do they have a dining hall for them to go to?
Each floor of each building has a communal kitchen and communal lounge area with a huge lounge chair, corner sofa thing. TV. Some rooms have en suites, some have 2 bathrooms at the end, unisex showers and toilets at the end of each hallway. So no, it's quite well set out. So they only have, I think, on each floor there might be 16 people or 16 rooms, 16 people on each floor.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and half of them have their own en suites. So there's only maybe 8 people to the 2 different bathrooms to share, and they all can share the communal kitchen and dining area, lounge room area. It's only 16 of them. So each week someone will be rostered to make sure the kitchen's clean and the communal area is tidy. So just, yeah, they'll just share it, get the job once a month or less, or less.
Yeah, my daughter, when she was at school, they had a suite with 6 people, and they had a little lounge room and a kitchen and 2 bathrooms.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, yeah. Good. There's just like 2 to 3 huge lecture halls and buildings full of classrooms and lecture halls. It's a small campus. It's lovely, except for the drop bears. There's security. You don't have to walk anywhere without security if you want. But it's not a secure ground as such. It's not all fenced off and whatever. It's part of the local community. There's a shopping centre right next door. There's housing all around. So it's, yeah. The only thing they have to worry about is the drop bears.
And it looks like your friend Emma has a new video out.
Oh, she does? Does she do a name right this time?
No, it's the most controversial episode of the Great British Sewing Bee.
Oh,
But the background is pictures of a bunch of crochet squares.
Of course.
I've never seen Great British Sewing Bee.
So who knows? She hasn't made a video to mispronounce your name again.
We did use our theme song without crediting the writer.
How rude.
I know. Politically Incorrect Knitter's theme song is written and performed by Joel Montgomery, in case anybody wants to know.
You would think she would know better being a musician.
Oh, yeah.
So when I get home,
For copyright.
I'm going to have to go through my wool stash and find a crap ton of yarn to do the ugly cat shawl, unless I do it in odds and ends like Annie has done. I would hate to try to work out like how much yarn I need and then be short of one colour. That would really upset me. So I think I might do it in bits and pieces like she did.
That's where I'm stuck.
I'm just imagining a 120-inch shawl.
no.
Yeah, like I don't know how. I honestly have no idea how much yarn I'm gonna need.
Well, if you're already on your 3rd one and you're on the 1st stripe, that's not good.
Yeah. So is it done in wedges, in segments, or as Neil was trying to say earlier? I'm not sure what he was trying to say. Like, it must be his accent. I don't know. But he was was he not saying it's the whole bottom piece is knit across one piece? Was that what he was saying?
I don't know.
Then you do short rows for each wedge.
Oh, so you do just do half first. You're only going halfway across and doing the wedges all the way around?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Pull the way across, and then you just do the wedges all the way till it catches up to it.
I don't know, but I've seen Annie's. I haven't seen this piece that's out here not attached to anything. I've only seen the wedges as they're growing around. So I'm a bit confused. Maybe I have to actually read the blocks instead of just looking at the pictures.
What?
Maybe he needs to make a tutorial.
A video tutorial with Neil James. Neely Peely Yarn Feely. No, I think I'll just go back and read it again, because I never print it out. I just read it on my phone. Maybe I need to go and print out that issue or those pages and have a good study guide. Have a good look at it.
Sounds good.
Okay. Because Annie's is really pretty, but I don't want to buy 3 or 4 skeins of a particular colour and then have the contrasting colour and then run out of wool. I will cry. I will be very shitty. I might mix it up like Annie's done.
I think that's a good idea. I'm glad I'm using the opal.
Oh yeah, so all your opals are different colours. Are they for each
Yeah,
wedge?
I'm using opal minis.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, but one wedge, you use 3 minis compared to his one.
No, I'm not even done with that wedge. I just started mini number 4.
he's saying he had leftovers from 110 gram. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
believe
what I
that.
couldn't understand.
I can't believe that.
He has
Not
a
for a
stash
whole
of
wedge
opal.
on a shawl.
Because he said that big, okay, according to him, that big shawl was 60 grams and then 120 grams.
No,
That's less than 2 skeins. You can't do a shawl that big with 2 skeins,
no.
right? I mean,
No way. I mean, no way. This is a single skein shawl that I'm doing now, the Reach for the Stars, and I'm probably halfway. Look, that's all it is so far, just that little bit, and I'm halfway through the yarn. The rest is all eyelets to make it grow. And his isn't. His is short rows. See, that's not very big. That's nothing. It wouldn't go round me. So
yeah,
you're
I'm
looking
double
at
checking it.
a skein shawl.
See, a shawl that big has got to be like what? At least 4 full skeins.
Yeah,
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have to have a shit ton of eyelets and.
Yeah,
Think
his
of how
says-
much Stephen West shawls are. They're 4,
he
5.
says
Mhm.
60 grams of fingering in a neutral color and 100 grams in a contrasting color or minis. I
That's
use
tiny.
opal 60 grams and 12 opal minis of 10 grams. There's no way.
No, less than 2 skeins.
Not from what I've seen of Annie's, but that's the thing. I don't know how much more of hers she's got to go. And hers is looking like a big shape at the moment. It's not even a crescent yet. It's just sort of looked a bit, okay. It looked like it was a third of the way there, to be honest. If you want to wrap it around your shoulders or have it, yeah. So that's why I asked how big it's supposed to be. I thought it was going to be a big shawl. 160
It looks big in the
grams
picture.
is not going to make me a big
Mhm.
shawl.
I
Crap.
don't know. That doesn't make
No.
sense.
I think mine's going to be a nice big shawl.
Yeah, but you're using way more yarn. So
Yeah. What's going on
I'm
with
just
his tech
following the
editor?
pattern.
Who is his tech editor for real? Because that's not. I don't know how I don't think I could be a tech editor because I'd want to knit everything just to make sure. Like do the math, yeah, but I think I'd want to knit it to see it to believe it. Because
Well, in
this-
Neil's defense, I don't think he had test knitters that were done before the pattern went out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, did Morgan finish it?
No, no one's
I don't know.
No,
I think
that's
they
what
finished
except for Neil.
Because there's no way. That's why I've already got half of our skein has got me just this little piece, and then the rest
Yeah.
is eyelets to make it grow. The Ugly Shaw's not got eyelets; it's all garter stitch in short rows in
Yeah.
wedges. And if it's that wingspan that I can hold my arms out and hold it from end to end, it's got to be at least 3 to 4, maybe more skeins for me to knit in fingering.
I would say 3 skeins at least.
I would too. Okay.
He
Oh well.
doesn't have the
I'll
dimensions.
go back to which issue is that?
5.
5. I have to go back to 5 and try to print it out somewhere. I'll get a copy of it printed out and knit it for real. Because I'm not a loose lady like Tabitha. She's been accused of being a loose lady. I think I'd be more on par with Tara's knitting, on gauge with Tara's knitting. So we'll see. I do like it, but I don't want to run out.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's fun.
It was good to see Tabitha and Tara and Ann and
Thank
Amy
you.
and Neil. and having Joe back. We missed her last week.
Thank you. But Neil did a great job standing in for me.
He did.
Legend.
He wasn't getting picked on as much as he was this week.
Mhm.
He might not come back.
You might not come back unless I'm away again, and don't ask sticky questions and ask about tips for knitting.
Oh Lord.
That's Amy's
Knitting
fault.
tips with Neil, a new segment on Block.
It'll be short. It'll be short. Don't worry.
Short.
Won't take up much of your time. No effort required.
I hope he watches this later.
He won't. He hates us now.
I guess we're off the editorial board.
Ouch. I guess
I
Tabitha's not getting
guess.
paid for her cover shot now.
Oh,
Instead
Chrissy
of
Chickadee.
right up the middle, it'll be a bunch of ugly cats.
Christy Chickadee said she missed you, Joe. She said you give her lots of laughs.
Thank you, beautiful. I missed you guys too. But it was fun to listen to Neil, and I did watch him twice. Make sure he's representing me correctly.
Yeah, he's probably hating us right now.
Yeah, he's hating us. I think we can go away and feel bad about it for a few minutes, and then glass of wine, get back to knitting, we'll be fine.
So we'll see.
We're resilient.
Exactly.
We shall overcome.
On that note, we should probably go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Like and subscribe.
guys.
Thank you for coming back. Thanks to all our friends for joining us.
Tell all your
Yeah.
friends.
That's
Tell
right.
your friends. Hope you got lots of knitting done today.
All right. Exactly. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.